Hey! What? I need that. It's a podcast.
Hey.
Coming to you live from Austin, Texas.
Live.
Your name is
Gus.
Gus.
Gavin.
My name's Gavin.
Barbara. Bernie.
Hello.
Gus.
My hair is way too long.
Shut up about your hair.
Okay. How are you
Today
this evening?
is the
It's good to see
5th
you.
anniversary of the starting
Now,
of the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
What does that mean? Today's the 5th anniversary.
The first podcast ever was released December 9th, 2008.
Okay.
But it's
So,
the-
today is
years.
December 9th,
oh,
But
you're
we
right.
took like a long break.
2013.
not the third.
We didn't start weekly until April or May of the next year.
I had a strategy that worked really well for a long time at the company, which was when we'd talk about making something for a long time. The podcast was one, a lot of different stuff. That like we'd talk about making it, it's like, but never got around to making it because we were busy with other stuff that was already established. And like, yeah, we'll get to it. Then I would just come in one day with a video or do that thing like the podcast, sit down and do it and record it, and then just start it. And then other people would get excited about doing it, or like, go, oh shit, this ship is leaving without me, and then they would like start and do it. I think I ran the first 5 podcasts.
I think you ran the first 5, which took about 6 months to get out.
Yep.
Well, you did.
Yep.
You did that with the shorts as well. You would just pick up a camera and film like Ninja Gus.
Little
and
shorts,
stuff.
yeah. Started doing
I remember
gameplay
doing that.
videos too. The Call of Duty, remember the Mile High Club one like that?
There was
Yeah.
also one of you playing Graw, and we
With
had a
Dan?
very early Dan Grushy appearance.
Danino G. Oh,
When,
can I say his gamer tag?
yeah.
Yeah,
And his-
Dan's
Too late now.
gamer tag is Danino G.
His
Actually,
mum would always turn his router off so he couldn't play.
His rooter.
Man.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
Well, that just goes to show that like I was playing with guys in a different country who weren't old enough to get permission from their parents.
Oh,
to
he was
play
old
Xbox.
enough. His parents are just psychopaths.
Clearly, he wasn't old enough if his mom
He was
shutting
like
off his router.
21, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, still, he's in a place in life where his mother can shut his internet off.
It's true.
When you're that place in life, you're not old enough yet.
And Graw is that game where when you die, the rest of your party doesn't know about it. Your mic gets cut off.
Really?
So you'll just be playing along, you'll be communicating, and everyone's like, Dan, 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 and then.
But they must know from playing it enough that that's how, like, that person's just killed now.
So it's
Yeah, but
either-
it does take you a while to know because you're checking in with each other.
Yeah.
I want to play Graw again.
Let's
It
do
was
it. I
so
have
fun.
a bunch of
So
copies.
fun.
I bought it just in case you want to do a podcast. Let's play.
Listen,
We have 4
I
copies.
just want to play
Right
the
over
game,
here.
even if we don't record it. I would like to play Graw.
Let's just record it.
Growl
the
just
thing-
sounds like a noise a monster would make. It doesn't.
Rah!
The thing with Dan though is that when he went
Exactly.
silent, you had to try and figure it out. Was it a tank or was it his mum?
Right.
What happened to it?
Was
That's
it
the age-old
terrorist
question,
or
isn't
was
it?
his mother, his loving mother?
The NSA would be curious to find out the answer to that.
All right, host of iTunes #1 gaming podcast. What does GRAW stand for?
Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
Wow, I didn't think you were going to get the Warfighter part right.
You thought I was going to say warrior? That's
Yeah.
a bitch move.
Warfighter.
Warfighter.
What is that? Warfighter.
You fight wars.
That's what all
Duh.
soldiers are, isn't it? They're war fighters.
Yeah, but the term warrior is actually a term. We don't need warfighter.
He makes a good point.
But warrior,
You wouldn't go into a chef and go, "Are you the food cook guy?" You wouldn't say that. It's too literal. There's a word for what he does. It's chef.
firefighter.
But that word already exists.
Well, for a reason, because someone said it once, didn't they? So does warfighter.
Right, someone said warrior once. War fighter was made up. Had you ever heard the word warfighter before Graw came out?
Is that a word you've ever heard?
No.
Yeah.
Warfighter.
But firefighter wasn't around. It used to be fireman, and then that was all non-PC, so they made
People still say
firefighter.
fireman.
It was around just about as long.
Bollocks.
Firefighter's just as old of a word.
Firefighter does not feel like a new term to me. Maybe they introduced it in the UK. Maybe.
They're not really fighting anything either.
They're fighting fire.
So should we cover some of the topics since we're talking about 5 years of the podcast? One of the early topics we would always talk about with Gavin was privacy issues and how Gavin would always post every bit of his life online.
Yep.
And in the UK, there's cameras on every block or
Yeah,
more.
I felt really safe walking alone in the dark because there's cameras everywhere. No one's going to come and stab me because it'll be on film.
Even though statistically cameres don't do anything to impact.
so
They
negatively
prevent
impact
crime.
They don't.
They do.
They don't.
How do you know that? Because the crimes haven't been done.
In areas where they roll out camera systems, here in the US where we don't have them, it has no impact at all on crime.
is it true? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like there's an initial dip when people are aware of them. Then after a while, people just don't give a fuck.
I
and
agree with
there's so
Gavin,
many
though.
cameras, nobody's watching them.
I feel so much safer when I know there's.
Who's watching? Nobody's watching.
You're not going to catch people live. You're going to be able to check the
Oh, you're like,
archives
oh, I'm
of it.
getting the shit beat out of me. I'm getting killed right now, but they're gonna get caught. In the end, you're still fucked. It doesn't
Well, it
matter.
doesn't help that one individual person, but it helps bring crime down when people are constantly getting arrested.
Can I
Because
listen,
someone didn't see you murder someone, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Gus, can I ask you a question? And you can totally take a pass on this if you want to.
Okay.
Do you believe in the death penalty?
No.
You don't? Okay.
No, I
Do you
don't.
believe that like life sentences and prison sentences are a discouragement for crime?
I don't know if it's a discouragement. I feel like life in prison is way harsher than the death penalty because it's a long time.
I would
of
say that
nothing.
would probably was the case. I don't know if that's the case anymore.
But I don't know if people committing the crime view it that way. If they have that deep of a thought process about it,
Yeah.
like to them, maybe death is the ultimate punishment. But I don't know.
To me, the hardest part about the death penalty would be your death is a date on the calendar, like a fucking dentist appointment. And the idea of like, I'm getting closer to January 15th, 2018 or something like that. If I die on January 15th, 2018,
Yeah, I was gonna
this is
say,
going to come back to
don't
haunt me
jinx
big time. But no, but like, to know that that's the date of your death on the calendar, like, and it's coming towards you, that would be its own unique kind of a punishment.
But it also gets pushed and appeals, and you never know. I feel like those dates constantly move until finally and then you get numb to it, and then eventually one time it's like, oh shit, no, that's really happening.
Would
this
you
time.
get numb to that? If you could find out the date that you would die of natural causes, like this is the date you're going to die. Genetically, it's absolutely proven within 99.9% accuracy. You will die on this date. Would you want to know the date?
Sure, why not?
You might be surprised how remarkably close it would seem.
Absolutely not.
You're not going to live to 2060.
No, probably not.
Did we talk about this in the last podcast? How
Yeah.
we just
Also,
would
you're
not
going
want
to
to
do
know?
yourself in at age 40 with a shotgun.
Yeah, I'm running out of time. Shit.
Gus has already set his date.
I bet I have to follow through with that, right?
You can file for
I'll file for an appeal. I'll get it pushed back.
I'll be the judge. Gus lives.
Why, you don't think you would want to know the date?
Yeah, I guess I would. I mean, if somebody asked me to get a one chance to know it or not know it, I'd rather know it.
Because then you can be reckless as shit, right?
No, I'm saying you would die of natural causes.
Oh,
You could
okay.
still die of because then, of course, why wouldn't you know? Because then you just act like a jackass.
So would that be someone's job to tell people what day they were going to die?
Sure, why not? He'd be a life fighter.
Death fighting.
People would come up to me, they'd be like, when am I going to die? And I could just be like, today.
I think as we get
Human
further
face.
along in genetic therapies
Cheating the
and
system
genetic
along.
technology, I really think we're going to really be discouraged by how much of our life is actually predetermined by our genetics. As we discover that, as we go forward with this, it's going to be like, oh yeah, some people, no matter how much they worked out, they were always going to be heavy.
yeah.
You know, they really didn't have a shot. You know, they were going to be 4'4". There's nothing that could have been done for them.
So
I had
that-
to really pick a height that was not
Or
going to be
have a
offensive to
microphone.
anybody out there. Sorry.
I'm sure someone's still offended. So 23andMe released. Did you see their CEO emailed all of their existing customers over the weekend,
Yeah.
saying that they have reached an agreement with the FDA to continue providing their service, but they will no longer provide genetic-based health information.
They won't try to be a medical
So it's just going to be where they're from.
Right. So it's just for like genealogy, ancestry purposes now.
Maybe they could work in some sort of code where if they find out that you're from Japan and they also say you're from Australia, you have heart cancer or something.
Heart cancer. If you're
Like
So
they
what
could
are you trying to say? Like
they could work in sneaky codes by just saying you're from places that you're not, and each country would
Why
represent
would they do
different
that?
illness. I don't know, to get around it.
I'm
Loophole.
so happy I did mine already before this happened.
I think they're working to try to establish so that they can begin providing this information again in the future.
I'm a little bit more worried, though, going back to our discussion, was that the articles I've been reading about 23andMe, people have been saying that they don't really care about the medical test part of it. All they really care about is just getting people to take the test because they're gathering a bunch of genetic data. They're gathering as much personal information as they can possibly get.
Right.
Which worries me. Did
So
you
do they
read
not-
about the Android app that was just... Somebody made an Android flashlight app, and it was determined that the flashlight app is just collecting personal data and transmitting it to the company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it's doing. And it was
Wow.
installed by like lots of people. I'll
Wow.
look up the article and give you
What
some
kind of
details.
info would it get?
Location, I know, was one of them.
It probably can also access your address book.
Do doctors take any genetic material from you when you're born?
There was
can
a
they
bit of
scoop out
there was a
some-
bit of controversy in Texas because it was discovered a few years ago that every baby born in the state had like umbilical tissue gathered and collected and stored by like a state medical agency.
They would take umbilical cord blood, and you could like sign a waiver on it, and they would
But
just
isn't
take
that
it.
stuff meant to be really healthy? Like, you can grow stuff from umbilical goop.
When both my kids were born, there was an option to pay. I think it was like $10,000
Talking about stem cells?
to get their stem cells
Yeah.
with their umbilical cord blood, and they would store that for them to use.
And that costs 10 grand for them to store it.
Yeah, I think it was 10 grand for.
You could store that yourself.
Like in your fridge?
Freezer.
Yeah.
Dry freeze
I guess.
it.
But my logic on it a little bit when I was making the decision was when I have to draw this back a little bit because it's technology based. When I built a house, I hardwired my house. I built a house in like 1996 or 7. The house in Buda. 99? Yeah. But I hardwired the whole house, network ports everywhere, and I'd read like about IP fridges that would scan your food, and it would build a shopping list for you. So I had a network port even like behind the fridge. And as far ahead thinking as I was about technology, it didn't occur to me that wireless was going to become a big deal in the house.
Wi-Fi.
Like Wi-Fi routers were not a big deal at the time, and so it just wasn't a big thing. I don't know if it was 99 when I designed it, but it was right around that time. And so it's like looking back, I was like, oh, I should have just done wireless everywhere instead of having ports.
Where do you think the name Wi-Fi comes from?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I know.
Go.
Wired
I don't even know.
fiber?
It's a term, wireless fidelity. It was things that initial Wi-Fi devices had to be certified with certain levels of wireless fidelity to be used. So wireless fidelity just became synonymous with the wireless device, so they just call it
But you
Wi-Fi.
don't know that it's a play off hi-fi.
I don't know
There
that it's
was
a playoff.
no doubt in my mind that you would know that.
Gave you the correct answer instead of the joke answer you wanted.
High fidelity is a hi-fi, which is what you call a stereo. But we in England call them hi-fis. Wi-Fi is based just off that name.
Okay.
It's hi-fi to Wi-Fi. It's not wireless fidelity.
You know, that's logic.
All it is they called it that because it's easy, because it's hi-fi to Wi-Fi.
I'm telling you what they called it. I'm not telling you the history. You asked what it stood for.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
you
said, why
did.
is it called Wi-Fi? And
Because
I'm
of
saying
wireless fidelity.
It's because of a hi-fi.
So wireless fidelity is called wireless fidelity because of high fidelity.
Yeah.
So Wi-Fi is called Wi-Fi because of wireless fidelity, which is called that because of high fidelity, which is shortened to hi-fi.
Yeah, but they only called it Wi-Fi because of hi-fi. Because hi-fi is catchy.
You're taking out
Last
the
week, I
intermediate
wrote in
steps.
passing, this is from Boing Boing, November 8th, 2005. Last week, I wrote in passing about how Wi-Fi doesn't stand for wireless fidelity. It's a pun on hi-fi, and wireless fidelity doesn't mean anything. Innumerable correspondents wrote in to say that the Wi-Fi Alliance said different. I disagreed and still argue that it's a litmus test for whether a given article on Wi-Fi is likely to be ill-informed is whether it takes pains to utter the nonsense, non-instructive phrase, Wi-Fi, short for wireless fidelity. Proof of this principle can be found in Westchester's boilerplate justification for its amazingly dumb anti-open Wi-Fi legislation proposal. Anyway, what they're saying is that the Wi-Fi Alliance says Wi-Fi doesn't stand for anything. It is not an acronym. There is no meaning. Yeah. Wi-Fi and the Yin Yang Brang logo were invented by Interbrand. We, the founding members of the Wireless Ethernet Compatibility Alliance, hired Interbrand to come up with the name and logo that we could use for our seal and marketing efforts. So it supposedly doesn't mean anything, and it's not a pun off of hi-fi.
It is.
Damn it.
Okay.
There's no convincing you otherwise. Even I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. And you're like, nah.
And it doesn't mean wireless fidelity. All right, I hate to read twice in a row, but I'm going to read again. Flashlight Android app. Popular Android flashlight app has been surreptitiously, how you say that?
I don't say that word.
That's
I don't know
perfect.
either. Secretly collecting personal data. Surreptitiously. How come I can't pronounce the word?
I don't
read
say
it
that word. I
1,000
very
times.
specifically don't say that word because
The
of that
Federal
reason.
Trade Commission found that Brightest Flashlight, which has been downloaded over 50 million times and enjoys nearly a million 5-star rating in the Google Play Store, deceived both users by both sharing location data and device identification information with third parties, including advertising networks, before the customers had a chance to
It's
opt
genius.
out.
It's genius. When do you turn on a light? When you've lost something.
When you
right?
need a light bulb.
Surreptitiously.
So the light bulb companies made this app to know when to sell light bulbs.
Or when people lose something in the woods and they're searching around, they maybe lost their wallet. It's basically just locations of people's wallets. And money and treasure.
It pretty much is.
I think it's more the house because you usually lose stuff like at night in your house.
Yeah.
And you're trying to like make your way back from the bathroom or something.
I just turned my lights on, but sure, you could do that too.
You know.
That new
You can go lazier.
the new smoke detector by Nest is going to have a built-in night light, where if it detects all your lights are off and it senses you moving around, it turns on like a really dim blue light to illuminate the room for you.
That's cool.
It's cool. It's like when you walk, if you let your
They came out with a
Xbox...
smoke detector, by the way.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh,
That is literally what he just
That's
said.
exactly what I was talking
I
about.
heard the Nest thing. My Nest thermostat comes on with a blue light.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, so I heard half of it. I apologize.
If your
Don't they
screen
have-
dims on an Xbox when you walk up to the connect, it undims it.
That's creepy to
It's
me.
really weird, isn't it? I always go to... It's like, did I... Oh,
Okay, I'll do that
Surreptitious?
again.
Here we go. Surreptitiously. I don't know. It sounds like I'm saying syrup.
Surreptitious. I could use some surreptitious
That'd
on
be
my
a
pancakes.
great name for a pancake
Surreptitiously.
place.
We have, looks like we have a picture of that smoke detector by Nest.
Jack just
up there.
got, I think,
Oh, that's made by Nest.
Jack just did what?
I think I want to get one of those.
I think he got lights that are designed by Nest or something, like his front house lights or inside of his house. They're all controlled by his phone.
right.
I think
have-
it's Nest.
That's
No,
Philips
that's
Hue.
Belkin.
Oh, it's a
It's
different
Belkin
company. Okay.
Wemo, I think.
It's really
Philips
cool.
also have the Hue light bulbs that do that. I have those.
Oh, really?
And you can set the color on them and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
They're neat.
I bought Jack some of that stuff, those like things you can control via your phone
From his
from
wedding
his wish list for his wedding. And I think the note I wrote on it was, anytime you dim the lights to bang, think of me.
Good Lord. What's wrong with you?
They probably just turned them straight
And now
off.
he's going to think of me every time he goes to turn the lights off.
I would put the bulb in the closet. Forget about it.
It is
works.
awesome being
So-
being in bed and being able to. I can turn off my TV
That's awesome.
and my lights from. I didn't never have to get out.
So speaking of banging, I want to segue back into something we were talking about earlier.
Here we go.
Where's the bulb?
Where is
Hold on,
it?
wait, don't jump ahead. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Learn to tell a goddamn story. Before the podcast started, Burnie said
Oh, like I said, I didn't say it.
Burnie said a good way to measure penis girth is to use the cardboard roll inside of a roll of toilet paper.
Oh, you said
Cardboard tube
penis girth.
in the center of a piece
Dick
of toilet
girth.
paper.
What did he say?
No. You could say measuring girth. Everyone's gonna know what you're talking about.
Okay, measuring girth. What the fuck does it matter to
He's
you?
being more descriptive. It's good.
And it seemed ridiculously big to me.
You'd be surprised.
So
I'm
we
telling
went-
you,
we went and got
You'll
one.
be surprised.
And it seemed big.
That's the funny picture over there. There you go.
It seemed big.
Well, don't hold it like that. There you go.
But we
It doesn't
started
look big in your hand on screen.
we started doing some tests, and it feels right.
Gus, he went after Gavin. You got to tear that little piece of toilet paper off there.
Yeah.
You're the one who
It's
fucking took
horrible.
it off.
Someone seems horrible about that.
Oh, sorry.
Gus, why don't you show us the other way you tested to see if it felt big enough? Just immediately put it in your mouth.
He did it before I did.
See,
so
the
it's
thing,
okay.
the thing I was more interested in is, could you Hulk your way out of this by stuffing your flaccid penis down it
Gavin-
and then getting a lob on and seeing
You
if
did
you
not. You did not understand the test at all. Like you were saying. First of all, Barbara asks. She says, "Do you use your erect penis or your flaccid penis?" I'm like, who would ever measure their flaccid penis for anything ever? Who would ever do that?
I don't know. I don't have one.
It would be disappointing. It'd be like, do you measure your boobs when you're in a sports bra? Do you do that? You put on a sports bra and then measure your boobs?
That's actually a good analogy. No, I don't.
No, you don't, do you? Yeah. So, and then Gavin was like, "Well, I could put my flaccid penis in it and then get erect, and then I would be fitting in it." It's like Gavin thought the goal was to fit inside of it.
Yeah, but if you can fit inside this.
Like, if he doesn't fit in it, then he failed the test.
But I don't understand what's the point of this. Is it because a girl doesn't like it if it's smaller than this?
Barbara?
No, it was just a measurement of girth. I'm sure you'll see a dozen posts that go one way or the other.
That's about right.
Where did you read this, by the way?
I read it on Reddit somewhere. I was like, that's like someone came out like this was a good test.
ELI 5. What's a good penis girth?
What's that? Hey, I like that. I like ELI 5 now. Is that a new
Great.
thing on Reddit?
I think it's gained popularity recently.
What is it? What's it stand
Explain like I'm 5.
So people explain like really complicated topics. in
Like,
very
explain
simple
why
ways.
in 5 why my Wi-Fi router won't go through one fucking wall in my house. I would really love to know why that's the case. And that was one that I read.
Oh,
And it was
because of the material of the wall?
yeah. Apparently, when there's metal pipes in the wall, that's a huge barrier
Yeah.
to Wi-Fi. I mean, I got Wi-Fi in my house. That thing, I have extenders, everything. I cannot get Wi-Fi to work in my bedroom. It just doesn't work.
Asbestos.
Because I'm upstairs. No, I don't think so. I
Lead
think
paint?
it's
Is that where you
asbestos
use your
is
little
bad.
clear thing?
No, I use my clear thing. I'm sad to report this. I use my little puck. I have like a little hotspot internet puck, and I use it at work because everyone else is just bogging down the internet
you
all
don't
day.
have to use that though, because you have a phone. The phone is that.
Gavin, I can't use my phone for tethering.
Why?
Because I have an unlimited data plan, and on AT&T, if you have an iPhone, if you tether your phone, you have to give up your grandfathered unlided data plan.
So
you serious?
How much data do you use? Do you use that much?
I don't know, but I was at the
check your usage.
I was in that button-umathon. Actually, Ashley has a tetherable phone, so we just use hers to tether if we ever do it. And actually, I use the hotspot. It works pretty well, and I never have to get hotel internet as a result.
I had a great moment. I was flying to LA, and I wanted to download a movie on my iPad, but I forgot. Like, I had to leave for the airport. So I tethered my phone. I had my iPad connected through Wi-Fi to my phone. My phone was downloading stuff. I just put my phone in my pocket. And my iPad was just downloading the movie in my backpack because I was walking around. And as I got on the plane, it said 99% and then just ticked to 100%. And I was like, sweet.
Wow.
It was awesome. I just did it while I was walking around. Technology's great. I downloaded a movie in my back.
There's so many
Without
moments like
even
that where
looking.
you just have to like sit back and think like,
Yeah.
what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah. My phone was grabbing movie and sending it to my iPad while I was just walking around.
As you're boarding the plane.
And it cost me a bomb.
What movie was it?
It was This Is the End.
Oh, what'd you think?
It's a good movie. It was worth it.
I thought it was funny. Yeah.
It's
I did-
better than
it's
I
not-
expected.
It's not as good as Shaun of the Dead, but
I definitely
not
went in with-
not This Is the End. The World's End.
Oh.
What's it called?
I have
The
not-
World's End. No,
The World's
you-
End,
you-
yeah.
I have not seen The World's End.
that might be a good segue to movies for the year.
I think so.
So you watched the Simon Pegg movie.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I
That's
have
The
seen This
World's
Is the
End.
End as well. And I also saw The World's
What'd you
End.
like
Which
better?
did you like better,
The World's
Barbara?
End.
Barbara, which did you like better?
I did not see At World's End or whatever it's called.
The
Was it The World's End?
This was so
also-
confusing, and they were also released
Wait,
like
there's
within
also
2
that
weeks
one.
from each
It
other.
happened,
Right?
That
with,
always happens.
it happened with Shaun of the Dead. It came out the same year as Dawn of the Dead, the remake.
Same year, but these movies came out like 2 weeks from
I
each
think
other.
I think it was the same with Shaun of the Dead too.
Oh,
This Is
God.
the End. They were like 2 months
I like
apart.
This Is the End.
This Is the End
That's
was
the
the Seth
comedy
Rogen one. World's End was a Simon Pegg.
It is confusing.
Yeah.
Isn't there also a Jaden Smith movie called At World's End?
It's called After Earth.
Oh.
There's a Pirates of the Caribbean movie called At World's End, I think.
Oh.
There's a soap opera called World Turns. I feel like I have to contribute to this horrible conversation somehow.
So yeah, we in keeping with podcast traditions, I think it's time to talk about potential nominees for this year's podcast awards.
Well,
the categories?
So-
let me adjust my mic.
Since we have a gaming podcast, we're going to break out all of the gaming awards and move them to the patch.
Makes sense.
So if you don't watch or listen to the patch, check it out. We're going to talk about it there. But
Wednesdays at 4.
Wednesdays at 4:30 for sponsors.
4:30 now.
Is it 4:30? It's 4. You're right. 4. I'm only on it every fucking week. Wednesdays at 4.
It's okay.
For
I
sponsors.
tweet it, so.
Wow. So we're only gonna talk about the non-gaming related awards here, which are movie of the year, TV show of the year,
Movie of the year, TV show of the year,
and internet video of the year.
and internet video.
When we did
of the
the
year.
intro to the animated recap, that was not scripted. You and I doing that little arguing thing.
Oh yeah, where we talk over each other, where we're trying to announce something together.
Yeah, they were like,
that
just-
was our first take.
They were like, just ad lib.
wasn't scripted?
Yeah, they were like, just ad lib an argument, and literally we just started, and then like that's what came out. We're like, that's it, just use that.
JJ has been killing it with the recaps lately.
Yeah.
That was the worst script I've ever read in my life. It literally said, Gus and Bernie say, this is the animated recap, etc., etc. That's what the script said.
He was
et cetera,
relying on you guys
and
ad-libbing.
argue. I was like, what?
It was literally just like, say animated recap and then just go do the rest.
He was relying on you guys to improv.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
But it's
And
just
you did.
et cetera, et cetera. And then later on it was more of that, et cetera, and
Do you
then
say
more, a little bit more.
etc.?
Et cetera. I say ex. I say et cetera.
Et cetera.
I know et cetera, but I say et cetera.
I think a lot of people do. Just like espresso.
Let people.
Espresso. Yeah, I say et cetera.
Here,
Et cetera.
before we get
but
to
I totally know that it's et cetera,
yeah, you totally know. You're a writer. Here, before we get to
which
the
stands for and et cetera.
before we get to the awards, I'm going to read this thing, but I'm going to pass this out.
Yes.
Here.
I've been
Eat some
waiting
of
all
those.
my life for these.
I'm going to read this thing here.
Sherry's berries.
I also say both. That's where that joke in Reverse Blue came from.
Ow, mother.
You know, food as a gift that never goes wrong.
No.
It never does.
No.
Like we would do for corporate gifts, we send people barbecue because we're from Texas. We will see people a year later, and that's the first thing they talk to us about. Always. I don't know what it is. It's amazing.
So instead of barbecue, send some chocolate-covered strawberries. You're right. White chocolate is good.
So good.
All right.
Did you ever see what happened to...
Awards time. What?
I was going to bring up a story about that. One year you
Hey,
guys
Kyle,
sent...
you want one? Hey, let's give Kyle one.
Come get one.
Get some for you guys also.
Yeah. God, these are so good.
One year, you
That's
guys
really
sent
big.
turkey to Mega 64, and they put it in their fridge and left it there for a couple days, and it stank up their entire office, and they got mad at you guys for sending them the turkey.
That's their
They're
own fucking fault.
No, like in a joking way. They're like, how dare Rooster Teeth send us this turkey to stink up our
How
office
dare they
and
not eat the fucking
sabotage?"
turkey? What the hell's wrong with them?
Oh, they ate it.
Doesn't sound like it.
That's the problem with this is that somebody would send me these, and I'd be like, oh, what? Because I would eat 8 of them in one sitting.
Are you ready to take a cork?
These are so good. Ah, fuck.
All right. You're gonna open the champagne?
Yeah, I'm gonna fire it at Burnie.
Do it.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Go for it.
Do it.
There's nothing I can do about it now, though. We've made the decision.
It's a shame, Shane.
That strawberry was good.
Open the thing up. Gotta fucking drink some champagne with the strawberries.
Yeah, I know. Let me get this
Fancy.
little cage off
It's
it.
gonna take years watching Gavin do this.
I don't trust
There
him.
we go.
Jesus Christ, dude. Just open the fucking champagne.
All right, ready?
No, it's too much at me.
Just give it a little.
No, just fucking shoot it off, dude.
You gotta give
You're
it
gonna spill it everywhere. Oh my God. What are you doing?
I'm firing at him.
Fire.
Hurry!
You're gonna have to keep the conversation going because this could take a while.
So I'm watching Gavin. He apparently cannot get the cork out
It's
of the
good. Oh, it's
champagne.
teasing out.
It's teasing. There it goes. We got like a
Hurry up and
centimeter
do
of
it.
clearance.
I feel like my prom date right now. Come on, hurry up.
Oh, it's coming out. I see it. It's going.
Oh, I've done this before.
Jesus Christ, dude.
You're killing me.
You're killing all of us. You're killing the fucking audio podcast.
Oh, you
You went
missed.
way over him. You overshot him.
Smith.
This-
That's some force.
That was
Do you
the
have any
most
glasses?
intense
No, we
3
don't have any
minutes of
glasses.
my life.
This is yours.
Drink it.
No, Gavin.
Well, I've got to hold that.
No, Gavin. Oh, God, dude. Get out of here. Go fucking throw it away.
That's good. It's good.
We did give a bottle of champagne to open to the one guy who every time he opens a beer on screen, he somehow manages to have it fuzz all over
True.
the place.
Someone made a compilation of all the times I spilt beer, and every single time I don't do anything. I just drink the beer, and it happens.
All right. Is it
Does
safe?
that happen
All
to you,
right.
like, in normal public? Like,
Oh, all the time. If
Really?
it's a bottle, yeah, sucks.
what's wrong with you? Why
Okay.
don't you modify your technique?
Podcast awards.
Oh, okay, right. So categories are
movie, best
of the
movie,
year,
best TV show, best
show?
internet video.
best internet video.
I compiled a list here that I sent out of just like potential talking points.
I also have a list.
What's funny is I forgot about a lot of internet videos. Like I had to take a lot of time
It's always the case.
watching and going back and seeing stuff. And I'm sure you've got some that I totally forgot about.
Not really. You got a lot of them.
So movies that came out this year that I listed as potential candidates.
First of all, I want to say, year 2013 for movies. This was the year of, like, to me, major internet or major franchise bombs, like big things. I went through the year, like, looking at the summer. If you were going to put out a really big movie, this would have been the year to do it because there was a bunch of friggin' duds that came out.
Like what?
Well, like even like Ender's Game.
Oh.
I know it was one of the fall movies, but that thing didn't make any money. But I made a list here. I'll let Gus start talking about his, and I'll tell you mine.
All right, I got kind of a long list. I don't necessarily believe in some of these. I just want to put them out there to argue about.
Okay.
But I got movies on here like Iron Man 3, Hunger Games Catching Fire.
You already passed over like beginning of your Oblivion was at the beginning of the
I
year.
didn't even
Well,
put Oblivion on my
forgettable
list.
stuff, isn't it?
Totally forgettable. There's a bunch of forgettable movies this year.
Elysium, Man of Steel, Gravity, World War Z, Star Trek Into Darkness, Pacific Rim, Hangover 3, Great Gatsby, Bad Grandpa.
Gatsby?
Shut up. This is the end. And then we also have movies
Stop
that have
surreptitiously adding things into our
we also
list.
have movies that haven't even come out yet, like Hobbit 2, American Hustle, Wolf of Wall Street.
I have seen Wolf of Wall Street and Hobbit 2.
How are they?
They were both
Button-a-thon.
good. I will be careful not to spoil anything because I know the thing. I think Wolf of Wall Street is probably my pick for best movie of the year. It would be on my list along with Gravity was really good. And
What about Hunger
Hobbit
Games?
2 definitely delivered on Smaug the dragon.
Okay.
Like the dragon is badass.
What else do I have? Inside Llewellyn Davis, 47 Ronin, and The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So there's a lot of like
I'm
late
looking forward to that.
movies.
I'm looking forward. That's the Ben Stiller movie,
Yeah.
where he like imagines himself in different scenarios and then kind of like goes on some kind of adventure. It looks like it's almost like Ben Stiller's midlife crisis movie. But some of the visual effects in that movie look incredible.
I know I read that story when I was in middle school, but I can't remember anything about it. I want to dig it up
I've
again.
never heard of it before.
I think it's a short story.
Yeah. Seems like one.
So that's all I've got. I think on this list of stuff that I've seen so far, my favorite movie personally I think that I've seen this year is Gravity. But I really want to see American Hustle and Wolf of Wall Street.
Did you see Man of Steel?
I have not seen Man of Steel.
There's a word he pronounces wrong. He pronounces a lot of
Wolf?
words incorrectly. He says woof and not wolf.
I said wolf.
You say woof. You do say woof.
Wolf. No, I'm not stupid. I said wolf.
You say woof of Wall
Did you say Wolfenstein?
Wolf. No, Wolfenstein.
No.
Okay, I compiled a list of major franchise movies that were just kind of a dud when they came out. Iron Man 3 and Man of Steel did very well, but they were both kind of like, people were just kind of like,
little
about it.
lackluster?
More so about Man of Steel.
I
People were-
like Man of Steel.
I like Man of Steel too, but it was kind of weird.
I thought it was just visually really cool and awesome to watch everything get smashed to pieces.
Did you read what I tweeted about that?
No.
I said I couldn't decide if I liked Man of Steel or if I just really, really hate buildings. Because that movie is just like property damage on
Yeah.
a massive scale.
He cost them a
I
fortune.
see over here that Brandon's reminding us about 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, I actually have that one that I'm trying to watch that one, but I got to go to theater to watch it. So.
What's the movie about? Well, who's in that movie? 12 Years a Slave?
I know Brad Pitt's in it for a bit. I don't know who the lead is though.
What's it about?
What is
He's
that?
the
Yeah,
dude
what's
from
that about? I've never heard about it.
I think it's about a freed black man who's living in the North
What's
who
the one
gets
about-
taken back to the South for the Civil War.
What's the one about Mandela
I don't remember.
with Idris Elba?
I think it's called Mandela, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Has that come out?
I think it's coming out pretty soon. They had some bad, ill-timed, ill-worded tweets promoting their movie right around the time Nelson Mandela died.
I think he died in the middle of the premiere.
If I can't pronounce surreptitiously, then I am not going to be able to pronounce this dude's name. It's Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'll tell you what he was in though. You will definitely recognize the dude. You will definitely recognize Brandon. If you had a picture of the guy up there, we can pull him
He's
up.
got his name up there. Yeah, and
There
they've
he
got a
is.
picture.
Yeah, you'll definitely recognize this guy.
So what's he's been in?
Oh, he's been in a ton of stuff.
He's been in a ton of stuff. He was the dude he was the assassin in Firefly, wasn't he? Wasn't he the assassin in Serenity?
Was he?
I can't pronounce any word tonight. I can't pronounce anything. Yeah, let me look him up.
I'm being told he was in Law and Order. No? Oh, the guy in Firefly was from
in Serenity.
Law and Order.
Yeah.
So we don't know his name, but he was from Law and Order.
Yeah. So you
Thank
obviously.
God we're giving out awards for a category we clearly know nothing about.
What other movies did you have on your list? Or did you guys have any movies?
So this year, these are big movies I thought that we should have defined the year. Anyone could have, but they didn't. Star Trek Into Darkness, Iron Man 3, After Earth, Man of Steel, Pacific Rim, and Elysium, and Ender's Game. Any one of those movies could have been the biggest movie of the year, but they all just were meh. I mean, Man of Steel and Iron Man 3 were probably the biggest ones that did well, but they
all seem kind of even with each other.
Yeah, people were
in
just
terms
kind
of
of
just like,
hey, that was cool.
Yeah, I get the feeling I walked out of every movie theater this year just but not that was amazing.
yeah.
Gravity would be an exception to that.
Gravity was good.
Gravity's the
also-
one movie that really grabbed me
I
this year.
really liked Hunger Games too.
Did it pull you in?
Catching
It
Fire.
pulled me in.
We talked about it before. I don't know if you heard the podcast, but I talked about Catching Fire as being
A lead up.
well, it's a perfect number 2 movie in that
Yeah.
it's it is cool, but ultimately, when I go to the movie theater, I would like to watch a standalone encapsulated story.
Right.
I'm okay with open-ended stories, like Game of Thrones on TV. I love that stuff. Walking Dead. I like when one thing leads to the next. Even between seasons, I'm okay with that.
Well, I think TV is a lot different than movies.
Yeah.
In that sense.
When I go to a movie theater, I expect to get a full story like that. They can be connected to the other ones, but I want everything I understood about the Harry Potter movies, except for the ones they split up.
It's because you want to feel satisfied at the end. It wraps up and
Yeah.
it's its own
But
story.
how do you feel about a movie like No Country for Old Men?
I think it's fantastic.
or
Why?
Inception.
What's wrong with No Country
I
for
think-
Old Men?
It wraps up the story of the protagonist, but I think Gavin thinks it's open-ended because the antagonist.
I'm not
kinda-
saying it's open-ended. It's like a
on.
really abrupt, weird ending that I was just like, oh.
I thought the ending of No Country for Old Men was perfect.
Didn't he die off screen?
No, he got a car wreck and he broke his arm. Who are you talking about? You talking about the protagonist? Or you talking about the antagonist?
Do you know what those
Protagonist.
words mean?
Yeah, the protagonist.
It all depends on who's the main character of No Country for Old Men, which is a movie from at this point, 4 or 5 years ago?
5 or
Lord.
6 years ago at this
Wow,
point.
it's been that long, huh? I would make a bet that most people identify Anton Chigurh as the main character of that movie. He's the bad dude.
Yeah,
His name's Sugar. His
that's
name's
why
Anton Sugar.
That's why I was careful to say protagonist and antagonist instead of main character.
Yeah, because the Josh Brolin character is he's not even that good of a protagonist.
Yeah.
He's trying to steal a bunch of money,
So wait, who's...
Josh Brolin is a cowboy who finds the money.
Yeah.
Anton Chigurh is the guy who is Javier Bardem plays him, the guy that's chasing him, the hitman.
okay, yeah.
I don't see how. I mean, I can see some people would be disappointed by the ending, but I don't necessarily need a thing where the evil guy gets a complete comeuppance. That's not entirely necessary. But I would actually say not to spoil anything for anybody, but I mean, Hobbit 2 is definitely a very middle movie.
Well, yeah, I would imagine they took one book and made
But
3
it's
movies out of
It's
it.
very middle.
How many
even for
pages?
even for the book and the section they took out of the book, and I don't know how disappointed people will be by this, but probably 50 to 70% of that movie is new material. It is not from the book.
Oh, really?
Really?
I guess
Yeah.
they had to do that. Otherwise, it would have been like a 70-page book.
And if you've
movie.
read the book, you definitely feel it in this one. I didn't necessarily feel it in the first one, even though there was that extra stuff with Gandalf and the necromancer.
I remember you weren't too much of a fan of the first Hobbit movie. You saw it at BNet last year, right?
I was not a fan of 48 frames.
48 frames.
And I can't say I didn't like Hobbit 2. Hobbit 2 was incredible.
was it 48
incredible.
frames?
I didn't see it in 48 frames. I saw it 24 frames 2D. I believe I saw it either that or 48 frames.
Which I imagine is the way most people have seen that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Like buying it on Blu-ray and stuff. DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
saw-
I have Hobbit on Blu-ray. I can't say I didn't like it.
Right.
It's one of those things that falls in that weird category of did I like it versus would I recommend it? You know, I think recommending something is like a totally different category. But I liked it perfectly fine. I loved watching Hobbit 2. Every frame of it was enjoyable. And I if you like Legolas too, because I don't think it's a spoiler to say Legolas is in Hobbit
He's
2.
dreamy.
He's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
He's even in the trailer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in the trailer.
Yeah.
He's totally.
I
doing the
love
whole
me
thing.
some Orlando Bloom.
Yeah. If you like Legolas in the trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, he is fucking awesome in Hobbit. He's awesome.
Well, so are there any other movies on your list that you didn't get to, or do you guys have anything?
I totally forgot more from my list here. Lone Ranger came out this year.
Oh yeah.
Hangover 3, R.I.P.D., World War Z. That was probably the ultimate one that could have
World War
defined the
Z.
year but didn't. Smurfs 2 came out this year. And that was, dude, Smurfs, the first one was an enormous hit. That movie made like $500 million.
Wow.
What?
And this one just went. There was a
Frozen.
Riddick movie this year.
Frozen.
There was?
Fast and Furious 6 was this year. And then Ender's Game. There was a bunch of movies this year that came out that should have been huge big
Maybe
movies.
it's us. Maybe we're just bad at remembering.
Or maybe we're just getting too picky.
No, I went through lists of movies, before we talked about it, and a lot of it just didn't stick.
Like
Yeah.
Fast 6 or Furious 6.
No,
or something.
that one was big. Remember the trailer with the fucking tank and everything? I remember that movie.
And then Riddick, I mean, I liked Pitch Black a ton, the first one, and people really liked the Riddick series a bunch. I loved Fast 5? Was that what they called the last one?
No, this last one was 6.
No, the last
Oh, yeah,
before
yeah,
that
that's
was
right,
Fast
Fast
5.
5.
That one was awesome.
I went to Master Pancake Theater for Fast 5.
Was
Fast
that good?
5, I went and saw Fast
It was
5.
amazing.
I wish I could have gone
It's
to
so funny.
You know what D-Box is, Barbara?
I don't know what D-Box
D-Box is, there's seats, there's one
is. Is it the
theater
little
in
cardboard
Austin.
tube that you stick?
No, it's not. that's a D-Box. you put your D in the box. It's seats, and you go and you sit in the seat. And when the stuff happens on screen, the seats move.
Oh, yeah.
Which sounds so fucking gimmicky, but it's awesome.
Isn't like
Yeah.
Stormtroopers or not Stormtroopers? Star Tours in Disney World.
Yeah, this is. It sounds
that
like an
kinda-
amusement park ride, but it's not that.
Yeah, I
mean,
saw
But it's
Fast
like it
6
moves
in
with it.
D-Box, and it was amazing. Even like the sweeping aerial shots, they're like, whoa. It makes you
You
feel-
saw that or Fast 5 with me?
No, I saw Fast 6.
Fast 6, okay.
With Michael.
I think you saw Fast 5 with Ben.
It was a Ben, yeah.
I
Another-
remember-
They're
another
both
Brit.
British.
I remember seeing Fast 6 in D-Box. I remember sitting down, and I just didn't feel good that day. And I was like, man, I could totally throw up right now. And then I remember that the seats were about to start going all over the place. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go and throw up right now. So I just went and vomited and came back and watched the movie.
I don't understand
better
that.
after?
If I vomit, that's my whole day. Like,
Nah.
I
Vomit is
knew
just
kids
a
in school that
mild-
said I ate a Pop-Tart this morning and then barfed, and I came to school. I'd be like, if I barfed, I'm done. That's my ticket to get out of everything else for the rest of the day.
No, it's just an inconvenience to me. It's like, I'll feel better when I'm vommed. I'll
Nope.
do it.
I
Because
need the whole
find
day
that
to recover too.
It's a deal breaker.
I can't just puke and be okay. I'm down. I'm down for the count that day.
Yeah.
I can puke without even bending over. You just go, "Bleh." I feel good now.
That makes me even more scared about the times you come close on the podcast.
Come close.
To
Oh, to
puking.
vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think I mean?
Coming.
Come close.
I think it meant like going near you or something.
How are we not eating the rest of the strawberries? They're so good.
Do it. They are good. Did you
have
guys
to.
bring
I'm
anything to
begging you to.
contribute? You two fucking lazy assholes on the couch.
You said every movie. What am I going to do?
literally
Make a
said every
movie now
movie.
and then come up with that?
Did
Yeah.
you say this is the end?
That was not on my list.
All right,
What about
this is the
Pacific
end.
Rim? Anybody think that was one of the top 5 movies of the year?
Nope. It was entertaining, but not amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I went in with low expectations, and I really, really enjoyed it. But I couldn't see, in good conscience, thinking that was one of
doesn't
the
make
best
any
movies of the
damn
year.
sense
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
I
Some
love
of
the
the, some of
Iron
the
Man
stuff was
series.
crazy.
Like, why could they only drive the machines with their heads?
Also, it's like they explained very early on that they need 2 drivers because they split the hemisphere of the brain
Yeah.
into 2 parts, and then there's a fucking Chinese robot with 3 dudes in it. It's like, how did they split the brain for that? Like, what's the third guy doing? And what's the third guy do? He just has another arm on the one side of the body. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
So there's 2 dudes controlling everything, and then one dude is just like,
This arm is me.
But it didn't make
I'm
sense that
contributing.
when his brother died, got ripped out, he had to drive the whole thing back with just him. You'd think there would be some just manual controls for driving it for when that happens. Maybe just like a lever that does this, where you don't use your brain. You think they would have built that in. But
Are
instead,
you
he
really
was like,
thinking that deeply
Yeah.
about Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
It's robots fighting monsters.
yeah, but at least the universe has to be, like, physics have to be
The
correct.
you ever
other day,
seen-
I read
And
some.
the third guy controlled the third arm. That thing it had a third arm.
Yeah, but where was he in the brain?
He's just another hemisphere.
So there was, I read the other day on Reddit some Iron Giant
He's putting stuff in
Pacific Rim
cardboard
fan
tubes.
fiction where someone wrote what would happen if the Iron Giant appeared in the Pacific Rim universe.
oh my god, that sounds awesome.
It was awesome.
Have you ever seen two Atoms fight? It's like two monsters from Pacific Rim going at it. There's like,
Adam Ellis and or Adam's over here?
Nerd, yeah.
What do they fight about?
when they get
They get drunk
they
and
get
they
drunk.
fight.
when they get drunk at parties, they fight each other.
Like punching and stuff.
It's really awesome.
They like wrestle.
I always try and fight both of them, but neither of them will.
They will kill you.
Yeah, they won't do it.
Speaking of which, anybody see beginning of this year, Jack the Giant Slayer was this year. Speaking of Adam and Adam fighting him, it reminded me of that. And there was also a movie that we talked about a lot at the beginning of the year that I liked a lot, which was a horror film called Mama.
Oh,
by an
yeah.
Came out
Argentinian
this year?
director.
With Schmorgan Heckengard.
It's Morgan Heckengard playing two parts.
Oh, he's
of
in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch that then.
Yeah.
He's dreamy.
There's if you want to, you can look up a 5-minute short online that Mama is based on. I'll try to get the actual name of it, but it's pretty easy to find. I'm sure if you do a Google search for Mama short, let me get a better search for you than that, so we don't all compromise our record at the end.
also
of
a
So
Solid,
I'm going to assume we've wrapped up movies then.
I think that's pretty much, you covered it.
Yeah.
There's
So
nothing
I
else
think
to-
we'll come up with official nominations next week. This
Yeah.
is just to get the process started so we can start narrowing stuff down.
we trying to get down to 5.
Yeah, let's get down to 5.
There's a movie that I don't think it'll be nominated that I just saw recently. I saw Elysium, which I think is particularly relevant to our audience because it's A, a sci-fi movie, and B, it's directed by Neil Blomkamp, who was
that-
at one point the dude who was going to direct the Halo movie.
And directed District 9.
And directed District 9 instead. That being said, it was cool to see District 9 and say, oh, I could see what he would have done with the Halo movie. Then you can go watch Elysium and actually see the Halo movie because it's a ring world where all the rich people live in orbit around Earth. And
What is it with ring worlds? Is that a real thing that could happen then?
what do you mean?
Like, if you have a ring in space, can you stand on the inside of the ring?
The problem with the ring, someone explained this to me in physics. I don't know how they do it, but when a ring spins like that, the centrifugal force would pull everyone. It would
Like
simulate
a salad
gravity.
spinner.
What's that?
Like a salad spinner.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Yeah. But if you have a sphere, you can't have that same effect because when you're inside a sphere, you're equal distant from every other part of the sphere from a gravity perspective. So your mass, you would have no gravity because you'd have a draw from everywhere else.
So if you're in a ball, you would float in the middle of the ball.
you would,
But if you shave the edges off, you'll stick to the
and
floor.
you spin it, spinning it's important too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, the mass of everything, the mass of the actual.
So this isn't just theory. This could actually happen if someone built a giant ring world.
It's a lot of material, Gavin, to build something that big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably pretty expensive.
But there's a lot of crap out there. Look at all the planets and stuff.
Just take a bunch of planets and mush them up, carve out the middle, build a ring.
Borrow a ring from Saturn, you're good to go.
But it was,
ice.
it was Matt Damon trying to get up from the slums of Earth. He basically looks like he lives in a Brazilian slum. That's like all of Earth looks like that, and he's trying to get up to Elysium for a plot device, for a reason he's trying to get there. And there's mechanical beings like these, the security forces and the police of the world are droids. So to fight the droid, he gets suited with an exoskeleton, like this ghetto kind of like garage surgery, and they put an exoskeleton
Don't
on
they
so
like
it's super
drill
strong.
it to his body?
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. And they add it to him, and then he can like go off and fight these security forces.
I can watch some pretty nasty movies, like with, well, not gore, but like stuff, people getting blown up and stuff. But whenever it's like procedural stuff, I can't deal with that. Like
Medical procedure?
yeah. Or what happened in it was a Minority Report where Tom Cruise gets new eyes.
Yeah, they take his eyes out.
That was grim.
Yeah, by the dude from Big Lebowski.
And then he ate that rancid sandwich.
Or that part in Ender's Game where they take the chip out
Yeah,
and it's all
Who's
like
the dude?
gooey.
he's got those wires.
Who's the dude from Big Lebowski? Isn't it?
We want somebody Lebowski, the guy who's like the
Oh,
Russian
The
dude.
Nihilist?
Yeah, the nihilist.
Yeah.
He's in a ton of stuff.
Peter,
and
what's his name?
Yeah, he was in a
That's a good
Volkswagen campaign once. That
Wasn't he
was
also
awesome.
in Bad Boys 2?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he was like the crazy Russian guy.
Yeah.
I think that was him.
Oh, what? Yeah, maybe.
He played Satan in Constantine?
Constantine?
Yeah,
With,
he played Satan in that too.
with Neo. What's his
yeah,
name?
that was a
Keanu
pretty
Reeves.
cool interpretation of Satan. I thought is that guy. I think it was him that played it.
That was a weird movie.
And then they had who's the really odd British chick who's not Kate Blanchett?
Rachel, what's her name?
No.
She plays.
This is the one who I always think is Kate Blanchett.
She plays the Archangel Michael in that. Archangel Michael, doesn't she, in that? Constantine.
What else has she been in?
Oh, you would know her. She looks like. Didn't someone do a comparison between her and Conan O'Brien?
It's not Rachel Weisz. I'm shaking my head no at you.
I'll look her up. She's got a really interesting name too. I'll look it up. Why don't we move on?
Okay, so TV
She
shows.
has like the red hair.
TV
Yeah.
shows.
TV shows of the year, 2013.
Breaking Bad.
I've got a small list here. Wait, you guys go since you said I
Breaking
took all
Bad.
of
Tilda
them.
Swinton.
Tilda Swinton, that's it.
She plays Gabriel.
Never
in,
heard of her.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers. That's a good one.
What else have I watched? I guess Walking Dead should be on there. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I got some relevant for the year to talk about. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Always Sunny was out for season 9. That fucking show's in its 9th season this
House
year.
of Cards.
So here we are. We're at an interesting crossroads this year in 2013, which is, should we have a best television show category? Because House of Cards and Orange is the New Black and Arrested Development, another big show from this year, those aren't TV shows.
I imagine they are on TV in places though.
No, they're Netflix.
I mean, you can definitely
exclusives.
show it on your TV.
For example,
Also,
like,
they're not cut time wise for television.
Not at all.
Okay. Some stuff is from TV that they just say
I
is
thought
for.
Orange is the New Black is on AMC.
Orange is the New Black is on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a Netflix show.
stuff like Derek that says Netflix original. It's not. It's
But
for
I'm
Channel-
saying there
it's
are
Channel
shows
4.
like House of Cards is not on television anywhere, nor is Orange is the New
Yeah,
Black.
these are
nor
shows
was,
that really weren't exclusive.
Nor was Arrested Development. I mean,
think-
Arrested Development's a gray area because it was a TV show.
I
But
think we've got to count that in TV though.
For now, but I think this is a category that's going to evolve and change.
But it's
there's gonna be
still
more to choose
TV
from
that's
in
just
the
on
future?
demand TV, right?
There's gonna be more.
But
to
is it
choose
really
from.
like what defines something as being television?
A
Like this isn't some-
serial non-movie. I think it's just the format we're talking about. It's
But
not-
then we talk about internet videos too. You know, is it
Yeah.
an internet video?
this goes exactly what I was talking about movies, why I want complete experiences in a movie, because in a movie theater, we don't define movies as theatrically released movies. We just say movies, right? And that's how we define them.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't say, for some reason, when we get to this category, we say television like it has to be on a television. There's a lot of people who didn't watch Arrested Development on a television. I didn't watch it
Right?
on
They didn't watch it
television.
when it was airing.
Yeah, or they watched it on a notebook. I'm saying they didn't watch it on.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they don't watch it on television, you know. And to say movie, we don't constrain that to a theatrically released movie. We don't make that requirement. For some reason, this category is now in a weird gray area. It's going to transition. In a couple years, there won't be a TV.
Brandon brings up a good point that we do have a separate category for stuff that's straight to DVD. Like we do have subcategories in there for like specific distribution methods.
So you're saying this should be a separate category?
We do.
No,
we
people
don't.
do. I mean, like
Okay.
for marketing purposes, you have a movie that goes straight to DVD. It's not theatrically released.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this could end up being a way we break out this, like TV shows that are straight to the internet.
Fair cop.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did I have? I think the only shows I have on my list that y'all didn't cover were Key and Peele and Girls.
Key and Peele's great choice for this year.
Key and Peele, I feel like this was really. I thought last season was really good. This season, I feel like they really stepped it up. Even
I
more.
feel like Key and Peele should win.
I just don't know what's going to beat Breaking Bad.
Or Game of Thrones.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know that I would
I-
pick Breaking Bad to win.
I don't know that I would
I
either.
would.
Yeah, as
Really?
much as we liked it, I don't know.
I don't know.
Although it
There-
did have
to
the
me,
single
there was,
best episode of TV I've ever seen in my
there
life.
was no other better episode I think that I've seen.
Which one?
Ozymandias,
Ah.
the third to last episode.
Wow.
the one with the phone and the knife, and then
Everything in that episode was great.
Yeah, it was a
And the
good
meth.
season.
It
There was
great.
meth in that
It
one.
was great.
There was a show that I was going to put on there that I watched this year. I caught it in its second season, a BBC show called Sherlock. And I thought, oh, I'll nominate that because it's just about to start its third season. Until I looked it up, that show is going to start its third season next month. It hasn't been on the air since January of 2012. It hasn't been on the air in 2 years, and it's still a running television show on the BBC.
What is it? Sopranos?
I know, right? I mean, that's now 2 years between seasons. It's amazing.
I watched the last episode, and I was just really confused as to what happened.
Oh,
People who
really?
have seen that episode will know what I'm talking about. I was confused as hell because I didn't know anything. It was. Have you seen it? It was weird.
I hear people like that show.
Yeah, I bet it's pretty good.
Was there anything else on your list that we didn't cover?
People online are saying they're all saying Tilda Swinton. I'm just not getting caught up on that.
Unless they're Brandon, and they're telling me Rachel Weisz.
People are saying Dexter because that ended this year, and we should also talk about what was the other one here? Sorry, Oh, Parks and Recreation. Not an enormous fan. Office ended this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of
Do they
interesting.
That
still-
was this year?
Office was this year, yeah.
Do they still make Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
They do make
Sure
Big Bang
do.
Theory.
That, I mean, everyone knows that it's
Dude,
really
dude.
just the worst thing ever made, right?
Bazinga.
I joked with Esther that
So
I want to
funny.
buy a whole bunch of those shirts and start wearing them in a
Bazinga
non-ironic
shirts?
fashion to like events that we go to.
I
You know,
think it
every
would
time we
be-
go to a network meeting out in Hollywood, like we meet with a television network, Big Bang Theory gets like 40 million viewers a week. It's the #1 show in America.
Is it really?
And people will always say to us, like network executives, "Oh, you guys make internet shows." He goes, "So you must really love the Big Bang Theory." It's like, "Wait, fucking
Oh my
no,
God.
we wouldn't." You gotta be kidding me.
Honestly, if a girl admitted to me that she liked Big Bang Theory, she's less attractive to me. I'm not even kidding.
Is it a deal breaker though?
It would be a big day. The bar would drop.
Would
If
it be
you
a
put a
Big
cardboard
Bang?
tube on, then you'd be rattling around in there. It would be not be. It would not be the full.
You would not
performance.
Hulk out of that cardboard tube.
Have you ever seen the videos of where they take that show and remove the laugh track?
I've
Yeah.
seen that for 2.5 Men, and it's horrifying.
Just the
so
weird
great.
timing. It's like, imagine if everything was shot that
It's
way.
just all this awkward silence in between everything.
Which, by the way, is what it's like to shoot those shows.
Don't they do it in front of a live audience usually?
Some of them they do, but some no. They're just to the point where they're like, "Fuck it." and they
Also,
just-
I'm sure, like, how did you think the audience is really cracking up like that every time?
I mean, they're told to play it up. I know people who've been to filmings of shows and they say, like, if something's not that funny, it's really funny.
But they sweeten everything, like live comedy performances, those comedy specials they record. They completely jump up the laughter in those too. Like if you go to one of those, most comedians are like,
Well, they like mic the audience, right?
they also add.
Okay.
They sweeten it,
Yeah.
as Mitch Hedberg says, which means add sugar too.
I saw the taping of the Kumail Nanjiani comedy special that was filmed here in Austin. It was filmed last November. I think it didn't come out till like June of this year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and definitely that's the case. Like, people were laughing, but then you watch the special, and people were laughing way louder. You can see Becca in that special.
You know, that's the thing is they would cut to the audience, and the audience is like this. Like they're
And
never
you just
really
assume that
like,
other people
they're just
around
like-
that aren't on camera are laughing.
Right.
I actually had a weird thing. The year before I moved here, I saw Jimmy Carr, Peter Kay, and Steve Merchant live. They're all English comedians. And every single performance I saw was the DVD.
Really.
Yeah, just by total fluke.
That's pretty crazy. Are you on any of them?
I'm on the Peter Kay one. He's a really funny UK comedian. He came out and grabbed one of the cameras. It's Wembley Arena, so it's huge. There's like maybe like 9,000 people in there or something. And he just pulled out the camera. He's like, all right, let's see what we've got today. And he just zooms the camera in right on my face.
Really?
And that's on the DVD. Yeah. It's me and my brother. We're like,
I can't wait to see all the screenshots of this.
I know.
Wait, which head of your brother was it?
The
I
original
recorded a
head?
video with his brother where his brother was describing what it would be like if you stuck your own head up your own butt so
Yeah.
far that your head then comes out your mouth.
No, your second head comes out of your...
You know, your head comes out of your original
No,
head.
the original head. That's George, right?
yeah, codename George.
Codename
Not his
George.
real name, but
You also don't call your sister by her real name or your cat.
no, I keep all my family's true identity a secret. We've got Lloyd, Pete, and George.
Pete.
Not their names.
All right, here, let me read this thing before we move on to...
One last
more
one I want to talk
words.
about, though, before is new series just came out with Carl Urban called Almost Human. And
Oh, yeah.
I watched 3 episodes of it this week just so I could talk about
Any
it.
good?
It's on my DVR. It's something I'm really excited about. I really want to watch it.
Boardwalk
But
Empire?
I just haven't had time. I haven't gotten around to it. All right, here, I'm going to read this thing before we move on. I want to remind everyone that this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by... Okay.
I sent Brandon the clip of...
Did you do a pun?
this is the clip. Hopefully, he's getting it ready. Of this is Gavin in the Peter K audience.
Does he
You
know
guys
where it
want
is?
to pull this
Oh,
up?
yeah,
So
this
of
is-
all of
he's
those
got the
people-
camera.
That's
Well,
on the
on.
screen,
We're
yeah.
not seeing it yet. Yeah,
My bad.
wait until
So this
we
is
got
Peter
it out
K.
there.
picks it up. All right, we'll wait until Brandon gets it ready.
All right,
There
here
we
we
go.
So look at all those people.
And so you're gonna see Gavin on the top right here with his brother, codenamed George. There he is up there on the top right. Gavin,
I
lean
see
in.
George. I
That's
don't see-
There's
me.
Gavin leaning in.
That's me. Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing. But it's literally, he came out and we're like, there's bloody Peter Kay in real life. And then he pulled the camera out. He's like, let's see who it's going to be. And I looked at my brother, I was like, imagine if he pointed that right at us. And he literally just went, whoop, and we came just like, on the giant screen. I was like, I can't believe that happened.
It was attracted by the gravity of your nose.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa.
He
He
went
had
to
no
the
choice.
shiniest thing in the audience.
So are we done?
So Almost Human, I would say you should definitely watch it. It's like, to me, it just feels like, with a lot of big budget TV shows, they try to make it as palatable as possible, especially with sci-fi shows, because goddamn, sci-fi shows get canceled faster than anything else.
That's why you got to hide it.
Yeah, you gotta. There's no way to hide it in this show, though. I mean, there's no way. but it kind of feels like a mixture of like Minority Report and what was the Will Smith AI? Not AI. What was the
iRobot?
iRobot.
Yeah, it feels like a
Roomba?
mixture of all
the
that.
trailers make me think of the Penny Arcade short Automata, that short series they did. With the two police officers, where one's the robot and the other one's like the grizzled detective.
Never heard of this before.
It's like a one-off comic they did.
Okay.
They've done in the past. It's like the daughters of the whatever wood shit.
Basically, the premise is that Carl Urban is a human cop in the future. It's like the year 2048, I think. And crime has gotten to the point where it's just out of control. And so they pair each human with an android partner. And the android partner is like their combat lead and like will lead the way. You know, if they're going to bust in through a door, the android just takes the lead and just like wrecks shop. And the human comes in after. And that's basically the premise. And, you know, as you can probably figure, Carl Urban has an incident in the pilot where he doesn't like the androids. And he's, you know, so they pair him up with a different kind of partner. And it's, you know, I want to like it more than I do. And I really want to like it a lot because I like sci-fi TV shows and I like Carl Urban.
I like Carl Urban a lot.
I like Carl Urban.
I don't think I remember seeing him in anything before the first Star Trek movie.
Yeah, you did. You wouldn't even recognize the guy.
It reminds me of the parody show they were making in Friends called Mac and Cheese,
Oh yeah.
where Joey was a cop and his partner was a robot. And it was like one of those like, hello, how are you? And like on wheels. So
Did they ever show any of Mac and Cheese
They did.
on Friends?
They did.
Friends is weird. Friends has over time become a much better show. Like it was just kind of like a run of the mill. It was one of the most popular shows in America, if not the most popular. And it was just kind of like, okay, it was like an okay comedy, but like over time it's become, people have realized it was actually really well written.
Do you think
know?
Big Bang is going to become that?
No, I don't. I don't. Or Two and a Half Men. I
You
don't
didn't
think
think that Friends was well written?
I
at the
liked
time?
it a lot when it
There were
first
so
started.
many like such clever jokes.
There were very clever jokes in that.
It still is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah. It is funny though that in a cast of 6 people, there were like a couple people that were just like unbelievably huge standouts over the other people. Like Chandler Bing was such a great
By far
character
the best.
and so well performed.
I would bet all my money as well that since Friends ended in 2000, what was it, like 10 years ago, 2004, it's been on TV every single day since then
Yeah.
on some channel.
I believe it.
Yeah.
That and the fucking Simpsons.
I still got to point out that it's
Simpsons
amazing to me that
still
Seinfeld never aired in the 2000s. That show's been off the air for 15 years.
Yeah, it went. I remember
99?
98.
Oh
98,
my
like I
God.
think 98, yeah.
It was I want to say May of 98. I just moved to Austin a few months before that.
Was that plinky plunky
Oh,
guitar
nice.
sound in anything else
crazy,
other
right?
than Seinfeld?
Not that I know of.
Ding,
Not that I
ding,
recall.
That's
I remember
the
seeing
sound
like
of the
I remember
80s,
seeing like
though.
a behind the scenes thing with that guy. And he's like, yeah, you know, I custom write these chords for the scenes. I can see what we're gonna do, and I'm like a little this. Like he's really proud of the setup he had.
I really like very famous sounds and being able to see the guy who came up with them. Like, I
Yes.
remember watching a documentary about Doctor Who and the very iconic sound of the TARDIS. He was like, "Yeah, I was just
which
sat
we all
here."
know and love.
What, you don't know the sound of the TARDIS?
No, absolutely not.
It's like, it's, you know, sounds kind of like that.
Good impression.
Not a very good impression. But he was like, "Yeah, I was just sat here and I got my house key and just scraped it up and down the string under the piano." And I was like, that totally makes sense.
I know where else that sound is. The boom, 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 boom from that.
What?
Price is Right when you get something wrong.
I've never seen that.
Oh. No, the
That's more of like a trombone.
So this is the new, Brandon, I'll send this to you, but this is the new trailer for the Disney app for the new movie they have, Frozen, and they use the Gauntlet theme.
I was gonna say, I thought you were watching an episode of The Gauntlet.
And it's so disconcerting to see it.
So we got it here. If you want to mute that,
Yeah.
he'll play it on the.
Yeah, I'll mute it, yeah. I'm sure the music's okay for us.
So
It's on
is
the
that just
subreddit today.
Yeah, like you started watching that over there. I couldn't see your screen. I totally thought you were watching The Gauntlet.
It's so weird to see that music associated with anything else.
Weird.
I hope
It
you
goes
played.
well.
Did
Do
you
you think
play
they've
the
seen
music?
the Gauntlet?
Okay, good.
We can't hear that in
Yeah.
here. So, speaking of The Gauntlet, we do not nominate our own videos for Internet Video of the Year
Sadly.
because we want to be objective about it. So The Gauntlet is out of the running.
We'll be realistic about it.
Well, we realistically don't want to win every year.
It would be tough.
It would be unfair. Other people would stop making content. And then what would we have to laugh at if
And then we would take all the blame for that.
Right,
Gus.
so-
That'd be terrible. We'd have to shut down YouTube.
for you, the listener and the viewer, we don't nominate our own shows.
we take
the
this
fans
bullet
could do
for
it
you.
amongst themselves, though.
They can do it amongst themselves if they wish.
Yeah.
But we have, hopefully, a definitive list of funny and insightful
Do they have
internet
to be
videos.
funny?
Yes.
Doesn't have to be funny. I have some on here that are not funny.
Can I say one that I want to vote for?
What's that?
The Corridor Digital portal gun video.
It's good.
I liked it.
They also had
You mean the gravity gun video?
That's what I meant.
Yep.
Yeah, gravity gun.
They had I think one of my favorite videos they put out this year was the googly eye one, which was like silly and stupid, where it's like everybody, the TV editor's
think I
fucked
saw
up
that.
and he makes
It's
everyone
pretty
have
fucking
googly
funny.
eyes.
I saw the one about farts.
What the hell was that?
I'm
That was a
sold.
weird departure for those guys. Like they hadn't put out a video in like 3 months, and then they put that one out.
Yeah.
And even at the end, they were like, "Sorry, everybody, we're making a movie."
It's about farts.
It's about like propelling yourself with your farts.
Oh my god, genius.
Okay, internet videos. I've got on my list Samesies, and this will all be in the link dump, and you can check it out.
You know those guys who made Samesies?
Mr. Iron Potato.
They have not put out another video since that.
What year
Wow.
did Vine come out?
Go out when you're on top.
Their first video they put out is one of my favorite videos I've ever seen online.
It's really fucking funny.
Yep.
I also have the car chase outside the guy's house, where he's like filming the TV and there's a car chase.
That
and
only
then
has like 20,000 views on it.
that's a re-upload.
Okay.
That's not the original.
I was surprised to
This
see
is
that.
Samesies we see
Oh,
here.
that is a funny video. I do remember that.
This is where the guy like turns the camera to the window and then
like,
he
oh,
sees the car
shit.
chase. This is one you sent me the other day. The Nigerian cook who survives the shipwreck.
That was fucking crazy. A ship sinks.
Capsizes.
You were telling me about this. Is
Yeah.
this one you were telling
And like
me
10
about?
people got.
Well, hold on. Let him describe it for everyone
So
else.
the ship sinks. The rescue team goes in. They're scuba. We have a picture of here. They find a dude. He was in an air pocket in the ship for 3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
130 meters underwater.
He looks cold.
He looks. Yeah, that you would just be after. I couldn't imagine that.
and like pitch black and everything, you'd be going crazy.
Oh, I didn't even think about the picture.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You freaked me out.
Oh my
Why
God.
would you do that?
Dark, cold, and wet.
That would
for
be
3
awful.
days.
Yeah, you just like you know the ship is underwater.
Like, do you think you would try to like kill yourself in that
I might
situation?
Where did he
It's
poop?
like you totally tried
I
to
mean-
orange monkey eagle at that point, right?
Yeah,
well,
you're
he had
not
no
getting
food and
out.
no water.
So
I mean,
did he have to? He couldn't see where he was. Did he have to like swim away, take a dump, and then swim back? Because he didn't want to be floating around in his own turds.
least
right?
of his concern.
I think you have a
least
lot of
you're
other problems ahead of that.
What? You'd rather float around in dumps than not?
I'd rather be dead.
Gavin, he would even pee in the shower.
Let me put it this way, Gavin. Gavin, you're on a major tanker inside the ship. In it. It tips over and fucking sinks. And where you are in the middle of the ship fills with water, you don't need to poo again for like a year. You're done by that
empty.
point.
Well, you
I'm
probably
he
pooed a lot when it was
plenty-
happening.
Plenty when it was going on. Plenty. I mean, that's an amazing story. I couldn't imagine the horror that guy went through. I hope he's okay. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I read a
he's-
follow-up that he was fine. They reunited him with his family.
Was he hallucinating at any point? Or
He
anything?
probably has some like stress dreams.
Like, how do you sleep?
I don't know.
Did he sleep at all?
You gotta be, I don't know, like leaning up against something.
He must have started seeing stuff. Because I've hallucinated and I've just been awake for a day.
Yeah, well, you have a brain thing.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the kind of thing when they talk to you like 5 years from now. It's like, how are you? It's like, oh, I'm good. Everything's good. You know, just feel fortunate. Glad to be back to life. Any weird side effects? Well, I haven't been near water. I haven't taken a shower in 5 years because I would just be like, I wouldn't want to go near water ever again after that experience.
Never go swimming.
In
or
any
anything.
form whatsoever.
how
Ever.
about ice?
Never. I wouldn't drink water, I don't think. I would find a way to like have it intravenously injected into me.
You would only have like slushies.
They'd inject it into your back so you couldn't see it going in.
Fuck.
Put over.
Specifically, that video is what made me think that it doesn't have to be funny necessarily.
Yeah.
Like you sent me that, and I just saw like the title. I was like, I am already enthralled. I got to watch this entire thing.
Oh, and also it's the communication of the scuba team to the base.
Yeah.
Like we found a guy here.
Yeah, like the way it happens is like you see from the scuba diver's perspective, and you see just like a hand floating in front of his face, and he's like, ugh! And the control's like, what? Oh, you found one. Okay, just move him out of the way. And then the hand grabs his hand, like grabs the diver. He's like, he's alive! He's alive! Like they just start screaming like crazy.
Yeah.
And like the CO is like,
They're super calm.
I guess they can see his, and the CO's like, calm him down, tell him it's gonna be okay. Like tell this guy everything's gonna be fine.
Knock him out.
Yeah,
He
they're
must
like give him
I
a
see
thumbs
his
up.
face in that video. He would be like, all of a sudden, if they come popping up out of the water with lights, that would be a scary experience too, because there's no light for 2 days or 3 days.
Well, you gotta probably see that light through the water coming and getting brighter slowly, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
You know, I would think in a lot of ways it would be like it's probably really cold because he's 30 meters down. But other than that, it would be like that sensory deprivation tank because they float you in water,
Yeah.
in high salinity salt water, and then there's no sounds or
So
no
what's the purpose of that?
sight. It's because when you deprive yourself of every kind of sense or any kind of sensory input, your brain just starts to like hallucinate and generate things.
Oh, I don't like.
Yeah.
It must have sucked going to sleep and waking up every so often and figuring out that it wasn't a dream over and over again.
Yeah, it would
You'd be like,
suck.
wow, I'm still here.
That would
This
suck
sucks.
really bad.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I had the most mundane, freaky dream the other day. Like I dreamt, like I was laying in bed, right? And my eyes were closed, and I thought, I bet my alarm's about to go off. I'm going to have to wake up any minute now. I wonder what time it is. And I opened my eyes, and I was dreaming that I was laying in bed with my eyes closed. I realized when I opened my eyes that I was asleep, thinking that I was like, holy shit.
What?
I keep having dreams. It's annoying me. I keep having dreams where I'm not the main character.
Like
I
you're
keep-
watching something
Well,
cool happen?
I'll be in the dream for a bit, and then all of a sudden I'll just be like a camera filming other people. It'll be like I'm watching a movie dream, but I'm not even in it. It's like, what's the point?
I think it's just taking from your everyday life of having to like film stuff.
Yeah, it was literally like stuff was happening to other people, and it would cut to just different angles of stuff.
It's funny you say that. Last night I had a dream that I was getting a sneak peek at the new season of Game of Thrones, and the visual effects weren't done.
Oh, really?
And then like it was that thing where I went from me watching it to then being like a camera person watching Jon Snow and
Really?
watching all this stuff happen to him.
And then you were Jon Snow, weren't you?
And then I was Jon
Yeah.
Snow. It was really weird.
You played too many video
me.
games where you can switch death cams
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah, it's just a really weird feeling. I was just like, I'm not even getting to dream about me. I might as well just watch a movie. There's no escapism.
I forget dreams so fast. So fast. It'll be 5 minutes after I wake up and it's gone.
It'll be less than that for me. It'll be like 20 seconds. As
It's,
soon as I start
it's interesting
thinking.
if you keep a piece of paper, like a little journal by
I'm
the
gonna
bedside,
start doing
write it
that.
down.
Maybe I'll remember
but
something
the
like Burnie
problem
did.
is, and I've
I did
encountered
that
this
for the
problem
Lindsay
before.
dream that I had. I was frantically like looking for paper trying to write stuff down.
Yeah.
The problem I've encountered with that is you need to make sure you're verbose and you're very thorough with your description. Otherwise, you write things like, I'm totally going to remember this, I'm totally going to remember this, and it makes no sense later.
Yep.
I find that I damage the memory when I try and remember it. Like I try and remember stuff and I start overwriting stuff and I'm like, what was that bit? And then I lose the rest of it.
Yep.
It's like, I've lost the whole thing.
Yeah,
Just
so you
because
just
I was trying to
got to
remember it.
like it's
Yeah.
just got to be like a brain dump, like straight out your hand.
It's be like when
on
a
piece of paper.
when a console crashes and they do that.
Yeah, like
that
data's
dump.
getting corrupted as you're trying to read it.
I would really love, in our lifetime, I would love the technology to be able to record dreams. That would be great. And I don't know how they would do that, but
think it
they
would
do
freak
things
me out.
every day that I don't understand how the fuck they do them. So.
There was that scary story. I don't know. It ended up being true, right? Where some researchers had found a way to get memory imprints off of a cat.
Yeah, they could literally see, like they could do a brain scan on the cat, and then they could interpolate what the cat was seeing
Yeah.
I call bullshit on
by
that.
just scan. I'll show you the.
Yeah, and it's like it's not clear at all. It's fuzzy as shit. It's really fucked
You're
up.
talking about an actual image.
Yeah, they made an image. They're like,
Bollocks.
that's what the cat was looking at. And if you compare it to the actual image, like a photo taken from the cat thing, you're like, oh yeah, that is it.
Are
So
you allowed
is there like compression in the brain then? Can a brain take an
It
image
looks-
and compress it to like a bit of electricity? That's all it is anyway.
I
isn't
don't
it?
know.
Doesn't make any sense.
Are you allowed to talk about Joe the cat?
What about
and
Joe the
his-
cat?
And his camera?
Oh, yeah, I have a camera for Joe the cat.
It's like a little GoPro for your cat.
Yeah, I have a little collar
Joe Cam.
camera. So I have, I'm filming Archie Life of what Joe
I
does in
imagine
retirement.
a lot of footage of cat food and a lot of footage of his own knob.
Well,
Yeah.
I let him go outside, and then he roams the neighborhood because I was curious. He disappeared. It's been really cold in Austin lately. He disappeared for like 2 days when it was 30 degrees or freezing temperatures, and I was curious where the fuck he goes. So now I want to track where he goes. So if I need to find him, I can go to where
Yeah.
he usually is hanging out.
So it tracks his location too.
No. I looked for a GPS recording collar. I don't want like real-time GPS of ping. This is where my cat is right now. I want to see where he roams in a day. That was more interesting to me. So I couldn't find anything that does that.
You're going to see some epic fights.
Yeah, he gets
Imagine if
his ass
it,
kicked on a
imagine
road.
if it looked as
I
good
used-
as an FPS game where you can see it as like cat claws. It's like-
I used to own this cat years ago that I got from an animal shelter called Seamus.
No, that cat was a dick.
That cat was fucking evil. He would fight anything. But he would actively seek out and fight raccoons. And one time I remember he was on Jeff's roof. I was watching him. He was on the roof of Jeff's house. A car was driving down the street. He jumped off the fucking roof and started chasing the car. That cat would fight anything.
Is it like a cat that's pretty close to a dog? Like it plays fetch?
No, it did not do anything. It just killed. It did
just
not
hated.
play. It just shredded.
oh, that's a cat brain.
Yeah, wait, Brandon, before you put that up, go to 30. Go to 30 seconds in, and then they'll have some images of the cat. So I pulled this is the video of the cat brain where they're pulling images up on a computer based on scanning the cat's brain at that time.
Oh
my
this
God.
isn't real.
He doesn't
Poor
look
cat.
unhappy.
This is
doesn't he?
not
Little-
real.
Little guy. But the monitor in the back like takes
Kill me.
pixelated
Kill
images
me.
and rebuilds what the
Wait,
cat is seeing.
what is actually connecting? Is this head open?
No, I don't believe it is.
No, it's just
And what's this? Is this video from the cat's brain?
I want someone to freeze frame that picture of the cat in between that machine and just put a caption that says "kill me."
So they have input of output. Like this is what the cat is seeing, and then this is like they're pulling up highly pixelated or whatever you want to call it, images of what the cat is seeing. Like
So we need to just change the compression settings on that cat's
basically,
brain.
they're at the point now where you can basically see what they're seeing.
It's
I
just
don't
like when we
believe that.
started making Red versus Blue, when every compression was bad, everything was tiny and really pixelated.
This is insane.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
refine it now.
I
at this
don't
point.
believe this is real.
I know, and this is from the late '90s.
Is this real?
Yeah.
So when they have that thing on the cat's head,
Go ahead.
how is it connected to the cat?
I don't think it is. I don't think it's like. I think it's
maybe
just holding the
just
cat in
scanning
place
it?
so they can scan it.
What do you mean you scan it? Like, what is going in the
Like
cat's
when you're
brain?
gonna see get an MRI in your head or a CAT scan.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Burns.
Thanks, everybody.
Try the video.
I'm so happy right now.
He is gone. CAT scan killed Bernie Burns. All right, pulling it back in. Internet video of the year. Obviously, that doesn't qualify because that's an old video. I've seen that one before.
Okay.
We stopped off a Nigerian cook survived shipwreck. I don't know if you've seen this one where the man sees his wife for the first time again.
So good.
No,
And
I
he's
guess-
just like, "You're my wife."
Yeah, this
What,
this,
this
this
is
guy
blind?
had like surgery and he's coming out of the anesthesia, and his wife's sitting next to him giving him a cracker. And he's like, "What are you, eye candy? Did the doctor send you here?" She's like, "No." And he's like, "Who are you? You're so hot. You're like the most beautiful woman in the world." And she's like, "Shut up." He's like, "We're married. I'm your wife." She's like, "I know you? Have we kissed?" He's just like
He
super
was
out of it.
flabbergasted.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the best
Talk about
videos
a
this year.
confidence booster.
What's that?
Talk about a
Yeah,
confidence booster.
no kidding.
Man.
Bat Dad Vine compilation.
Yeah,
Gotta have that on there.
of course.
Wrecking Ball chat roulette version.
Also
Oh,
good.
he did a wrecking ball one.
Yeah. Which
Same guy who did the.
So embarrassed by
Cool.
that.
he did the
Call Me
Call Me
Maybe.
Maybe. Yep.
That guy, I gotta say, like, I recognize that guy's funny, but it's the difference between someone being funny and just having a shtick. Is the difference there is whether or not you like it, and I don't identify with that guy's humor. He's a guy who does like a bunch of cross-dressing videos on chat roulette, is what he
Yeah.
does. That's his
Yep.
medium, right?
That's all retarded.
The thing is, I don't understand how he hung that ball from the ceiling
I
in his
know.
living room.
Dedicated people, dude.
We both had that question when you showed me this video. It's like, I don't care how anything else.
He
is
did.
done
What was the
except
one
that
he did?
ball.
Was it Call Me Maybe? Was that
Yeah.
the last one he
There
did?
you go.
Yeah.
He was in like the bikini.
Yeah. I mean,
funny video.
he gets a lot of views. People like his stuff. It's
this-
not-
You must
kind
really
of-
like it. It's
it's
like
not
British
my
humor,
particular
right?
thing.
Cross-dressing. It's like right up,
Like,
like Monty
Eddie's up.
Python, Eddie Izzard.
They're kind of heartwarming videos though, just seeing people laugh and smile and stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, TV shows, there's a show you want to nominate that you didn't. You want to nominate Hello Ladies.
Hello, ladies.
You do want
Thanks
to
for reminding me.
You want to
about that.
nominate that.
I've been meaning to watch that, so I should watch it.
I mean, it's cringy as hell. If you like cringe,
It's hard to watch cringe. I
It
like
is-
it, but it's hard.
very hard
What's
to watch.
that
It's like
British
up there
show?
with the worst Office episodes for cringe.
What's that British show with the ladies
Office.
talking?
The ladies talking.
And like The View? That's a really funny name.
Loose women.
Loose Women. I nominate Loose Women for that title alone.
I like loose women.
Loose women in the UK.
Other videos I have, Amazon Prime Air,
Oh.
which is not a funny video, but it's definitely a what the fuck am I looking at video.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi in real
It's
life
cool.
video.
What does the fox say? Which I forgot about in my initial round of videos.
I actually wrote that down after you sent that list.
Yeah, huge video. And also Bad Motherfucker, the official music video, which I think you and I had shared
You
earlier this year.
forgot something.
You forgot something.
or two things.
What I forget?
You forgot Bound 2
Bound to absolutely.
Gotta have
and
Bound
the
2.
Kanye West.
parody of Bound 2 with
Yes.
The parody is really good, but Bound to itself.
The
is
video
just
itself is a
amazing.
parody.
It's a Kanye West video with Kim Kardashian.
I don't think it might make the list of
Bam.
nominees. I don't think I would vote for it. What'd you say?
Bam.
Are there any videos I missed on the list that you guys would add?
Yes, one of my favorites of the year. Which I'm gonna let Brandon play it. Brandon, you can send the video that I sent you. I don't think. Well, he's unbound right now. Taylor Swift as sung by the goat. That's
Right.
I absolutely. I could watch that video. It's only a 20-second video. I could watch it 1,000 times. It makes me laugh every single.
When does the
fucking-
That is a good one.
YouTube Rewind come out? Because this is very relevant to that video.
I
Like
think
everything
it's
that we just
December
talked about.
11th or 12th.
Yeah.
So sometime later this week.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
And there's the Taylor Swift goat video.
Even watching it makes you laugh.
I love the ridiculous aspect ratio of that music video too.
Oh my god, there reminds me of two videos that I loved in the past. One was the guy who argues politics with the goat.
Oh yeah, that's
Was
a
it a
good one.
Spanish dude or a Portuguese dude arguing? It's a look up. Dude argues politics with an ibex, an IBEX, and you don't have to look it up, Brandon. So I'm telling people online to do it. And then the other one was Usher, when they replaced Usher with that goat that sounded like a person. That one just made me laugh. Did you ever see that? Oh my god!
Anytime
it's
you
so
talk about an
fucking funny.
ibex, it makes me think of that other video where the ibex scratches its own ass with its horns.
Oh, that looks like the best thing ever.
Is it the original
Makes
head
me
or the
say
second
horns.
head?
It's the original head with his original horns,
okay.
reaching back to his original ass.
He has horns that go like all the way back, like way back, like this, and then he hooks his head back, and it's like his horns are the perfect length to just hook back and scratch his own butt, and he sits there scratching like that.
I wonder how that works. Are they just designed to do that? Or one day was his horn long enough that he did this and was like, oh.
I hit it. That actually worked.
So I know I'm going to be shut down right away, but have you considered doing Vine of the Year?
Shut up.
Well, he did have Bat Dad on there.
Yeah.
Bad Dad compilation.
His
Compilation.
Bat Dad compilation of vines.
If I know we can't have him, if you could nominate one of our videos, your favorite video of the year for you, what would it be?
Gosh, I don't know. I didn't think about that for a little bit. Yeah. It'd be tough to nominate. We make a lot of videos. It'd be tough.
I think maybe that Let's Play Rainbow Six, where you had your face on
Your
your
face
picture
on
and
the
you blew yourself
soldier
up.
was fucking amazing.
That I've never laughed so hard.
One of those other moments where I just pressed the wrong button.
Ooh!
I tried so hard to get away from it. I would probably vote for... Was Surgeon Simulator this year?
Yeah.
But there's always funny stuff though that takes place. Was Surgeon Simulator this year?
Yeah,
I don't know. If it was, I'd vote for that. That's probably the most fun I've had making a video
it was this year. Yes.
There was a recent Let's Play where you did something really funny, like you leaned back too far and then fell over, and then Michael was going, "What was wrong with you?" And you guys just leaned back, and then you headbutt Michael right in the face.
That was our
immediately, and it was so funny. It was just so funny
I was describing what I just did, and I headbutted him while I was
Also,
doing it.
Farm Simulator.
because he's yelling at you while you then you headbutt him in the face, and he doesn't get any madder.
I was
He's
just doing a
he's
weird
already at
dance.
the top.
I'm secretly just trying to break the AWU camera every week. Today's one was insane. We were
You
rattling
did
it like there was an
another
earththquake.
Lads Action News today.
Lads Action News. Whenever Jack's
Always
out of town,
great.
we do Lads Action News.
So next week too. Oh no, he's back next week.
He'll probably be back next week.
Right.
There's just so many videos we put. I don't know if I could pick one.
Yeah.
I'm biased. It'd probably be an animated adventure.
Although I really like Immersion too. That was this year.
Immersion was good.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was another.
It's
good
funny.
one.
I can always remember when Game of Thrones started this year because we were in Atlanta filming Immersion.
It's true.
So it's like it was the end of March.
That was right after PAX or right before PAX?
It was after, I believe.
And that ordeal that we had at
Fucking
PAX.
driving
Driving for 4 hours.
from New York to Boston, fucking with all the kids in the back.
I always laughed really hard every time we made vines too. We just laugh uncontrollably. Which we got to do. I keep trying to get you guys together at the same place, same time.
We're all here right now. Let's go.
Let's go. Want to do some more Friday?
I'm out of town.
Is that You're also out of town.
You're out of
No,
town.
I'm back. I'm back
really?
Friday. I'm back Friday. Yeah.
How about
Gavin's
Monday or Tuesday of next week?
That works for me. Does it work for you? All right, we'll discuss this offline.
Let me
How about
check
that?
my schedule.
I'm going to England.
You
are
are?
you?
Well, that's maybe the next weekend. That's for Christmas. When is that? Is Christmas soon?
It's not like this weekend. It's the one.
Okay. I leave on the 20th.
Hanukkah's all done, right, Barb?
Oh yeah, Hanukkah finished on the 5th of December.
It's fast. I haven't seen remember being closer to Christmas. What makes it shift? What's
It goes by the Hebrew calendar,
okay?
which Gus explained last week because you
The
looked
Hebrew
it up.
calendar is lunar based, so most months have either 29 or 30 days.
I see.
So it falls further and further back.
Yeah.
Over time, so eventually it'll be in like the summer.
Every now and then, they have a calendar correction.
Correction.
To try to make
like
it
that?
sync up with
It's like
the
when
solar
they.
calendar.
It's
I
like when
don't
they
know
add a
what
leap second.
It seems racist to say correction.
So if they did not have a correction, the two Thanksgiving and Hanukkah would not line up again until like the year 79,880.
Yep. See you then.
Let's make a date.
Thanksgiving.
So there were some other things I want to talk about this year. We're done. We'll come up with official nominations for our categories next week. This is just a starting point for talking. There's some other stories that came out that I want to talk about today. Specifically, there were two stories out of China, which has become like a bed for weird things happening. The first was, obviously they've been having huge smog problems. I don't know if you ever see the pictures on Reddit.
Yeah.
Where
The
people
dragon.
where people post photos like out of their high
Real
rises
smog.
and it's just like smog everywhere in Shanghai.
Yeah.
It's really bad. I mean, it's like well above any type of safety level that has been set for air quality standards. And a nationalist newspaper in China ran a story talking about how the smog was beneficial because it deters anyone trying to invade Chinese cities because it'll disrupt their missile guidance systems and their troop movements because they
it's
won't
a
be able to
defense.
see.
I
It's
mean,
a defense mechanism.
was
You
like,
want to see
that's-
the silver lining in something? That's it.
It's like, you can't invade us because we're already dead.
Pretty much, yeah.
Did you see the picture on Reddit of the guy's breathing mask?
Yeah. It was just
After one day of being outside, it was just black.
Yeah, I guess nobody bombs a graveyard.
And then another crazy story I saw that came out from China today was that a 38-year-old man was out shopping with his girlfriend. They had been shopping for 5 hours at a mall,
Ugh.
and
a good nightmare.
he wanted to go home. She wanted to keep shopping. When he said that they should stop, she started berating him, telling him he was a cheapskate and that he was ruining Christmas. So he threw all of his bags down and jumped off the 7th story of the mall onto the floor.
Oh, don't show.
He was getting wheeled out. And
What?
And,
Did he die?
Yeah, he died.
Oh my God.
Why, dude?
I mean, there's probably so much more to that story that we don't know.
Oh, probably. I
I
mean,
mean,
well, I mean, here's the
Maybe
thing
he
is-
just really hated shopping.
I would like to know where we are. I'll look it up right now, but I want to know where we are in the China one-child policy.
They're starting to ease that up.
No, I know, but when did that start? So is like the generation that's alive now part of that one child?
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was a kid, so I would assume like anybody from like 10 to 50 grew up under that policy.
I would assume so, yeah.
And I know they are easing it up a little bit, but it's what that did, I think, over time was it skewed towards male births. Is that the Chinese favored male births, and so I think we're going to see a skewing here. And so, like Barbara's saying, there's more to it. It's like the pressure on Chinese males must be enormously high to make their girlfriend happy or to make their wife happy.
It started in 79, by the way.
It started in 79. So, like, what are the demographics of China?
I want to say, I'm going off the top of my head, I'm trying to look up the actual statistic here. I want to say there's 4 million more men than women in China.
damn, I should move to China.
That's 4 million dudes that will just statistically can't get a wife.
So
just
it looks
can't
like
happen.
if this chart I'm looking at is correct, it's
Which over a billion people is not that big a
1.2
skew.
to 1 ratio.
1.2 to 1. So basically,
So
it says 20% of all the men can't get a wife.
Yeah, but 1 in 10 of those is gay anyway.
1 in 10 is gay. But then 1 in 10 of the women is gay too. So it
Right.
eliminates the
You
population
still
too.
lose it.
Yeah, but then they can do each other.
Who can do each other, Gavin?
The people who aren't involved.
Wait a minute. Okay. So 1 in 10 people are gay, so the people who aren't involved can do each other, guys.
Well, it brings the number down, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you got to
On
assume
both
that it happens on
sides.
both sides. So
sides.
if it happens proportionally across both sexes, then it would drop. At
So
the same amount.
20% of the male have no chance of finding a wife.
So 9 million more
9
men
million.
than women.
9 million more.
Thank you, Brandon, for. The
I mean,
facts
with
on
a
the fact
booming
numbers.
economy too, obviously there's a higher chance that men could draw in women from other country and get married there. But that's a significant population. That's like the entire population of Houston, more.
Yeah.
That couldn't be married. That's a weird thing to take away from somebody. It's an enormous amount of pressure. You know?
Yeah.
And it skews things definitely more towards women. I mean, 9 million people across a billion doesn't seem like a lot, but it is at the end of the day. It is 9 million people.
Must be a lot of pressure to just like have a good job and be very attractive as a man in China.
It definitely skews the power. Oddly, skews the power more towards the women in
Yeah.
those kinds of relationships. I mean, there's
They can make you go shopping for 5 hours.
Grow power.
Yeah, and she's telling him you're not like. Who knows what she's saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, she could be comparing him to other guys too. Like he would buy me shoes if I was with him.
Do you think that makes for more effective evolution?
makes for more effective?
Like
Having the
natural
women
selection.
be cheesy?
Yeah, because in the animal kingdom, the females only shagged like the best, biggest, and strongest male, right? And then all the
Like
males
real
have
life
to
too.
compete and perform and
Well, I think that also kind of assumes that all genetics is skewed towards the male. I mean, it helps refine one side of the genetic equation, but not the other. I mean, if the women were all dying off because they were competing at birth or in childhood, fighting to the death, and that's why there's less women,
then yeah, like then natural selection.
Yeah.
I think he's saying are the best male specimens being selected as a result of this.
Yeah, like women aren't having to settle for just nothing.
Yeah, but
crap
I don't know where
dudes.
we are in human evolution.
Like, are guys getting better looking?
We kind of
all the time?
exist outside of natural evolution. The reasons why a woman would pick a man in human society are not necessarily the same ones as like evolutionary benefits.
Right.
Like she wouldn't necessarily pick a guy who can kill all the other guys. She might pick a guy who's got the biggest house. You know,
Yeah.
who's not necessarily. The
I guess
best
in evolution,
evolutionary.
if it's from an animal point of view, like a woman could marry the dude with the biggest forehead or something. For like headbutting and stuff.
For headbutting, it's for cracking open walnuts.
All the more to headbutt you with, my dear.
Yeah, so we're far enough away from animals where it's...
You know,
So
every,
we
time,
just
every
not-
time we talk about evolution, I always these questions pop up. Like, there's some animals that can see in ultraviolet and all that, right? Why wouldn't, if you could develop where you could see in ultraviolet and see across a bigger spectrum, or like animals can hear across a broader spectrum, why wouldn't humans just have that too? Like, why
We
wouldn't
do.
that
We
just
can
be,
see ultraviolet. It's just a filter on your eye.
Why-
You can get it removed and then see ultraviolet.
Right. But why wouldn't the ones who don't have that filter? Why wouldn't that be a benefit to us? Why wouldn't having a higher range of hearing just be a benefit, and we would just end up with that? What's the efficiency of having a more limited hearing range?
That's interesting. But I mean, we figure that you evolved with that range for a reason.
Right.
Also,
We just don't know what
it'd
that
be-
reason is.
It'd
Yeah.
be sensory overload, wouldn't it? If you could see ultraviolet as well, it'd be too much. You don't need it. It's like when bloody Superman.
You're only saying that 'cause you don't have it.
He starts
Yeah.
X-raying through everything. It's like, there's too much going on. I can see through everyone's faces.
Is that what Superman said? Was that Superman 13, I think?
No, it was
Man of
Man
Steel.
of Steel.
Oh, okay.
Man of
He all of a
Steel's-
sudden starts like looking through everyone. He's like, and then when General Zod lands on Earth, because he's on Earth, he starts seeing it too, and he's just like.
By
what
the way,
hell?
I gotta say, not spoiling anything in Man of Steel, their logic in that fucking movie is so stupid.
Like what?
Why would the Kryptonians want to terraform Earth and make it like Krypton? And when they found a planet where they're all fucking super beings, and it's like, oh, we'd be uncomfortable for a few years. It's like, so be uncomfortable for a few years, and then you end up where you can
because
fucking fly.
they're based on very human like land where gravity was like normal and stuff. If all of a sudden everyone could fly, they wouldn't have the technology to deal with that, would they?
But also, if you could coexist with another species where you're the one that can fucking fly and jump through buildings and everything else, why would you give that up?
Also, what's the plot? Terraforming? Wasn't that the Kevin Spacey one also? Lex Luthor wanted to make more land?
Oh, no, it's they're terraforming Earth to be like Krypton.
Oh, that's
They
see-
put one ship at one end of the planet and one at the other, and they start like changing the mass of the planet and injecting another atmosphere around the Earth.
Man of Steel is I always complain that Superman movies always want to do his origin story, which they did in this movie, and they did it pretty well. The weird thing about Man of Steel is it's an alien movie. They treat Superman like he's an alien.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally
And he
do
is.
that. They literally do that. Like the people in the movie approach him as though he's an alien being.
And they're worried about him infecting other humans with some sort of weird alien parasite, and he's
Yeah.
like, "I've been here 33 years. I've not infected anyone."
Yeah, it's totally, the whole thing is totally like, from the perspective of the people in the movie, it's not a superhero battle, it's aliens
Also-
that are attacking Earth.
At no point is he Superman in a traditional sense of like saving the day, rescuing people from just everyday things.
Nope.
He doesn't do that once. When he's a kid, he kind of does. He saves the bus.
Well, he does that thing, he does the thing where he saves people during the fight.
Yeah.
And it's a distraction that they see that. Yeah.
But he's never like in Metropolis just going day to day as Superman.
No, Metropolis.
nothing left
He
of
would
it.
not be Metropolis's favorite son because he shows up in Metropolis to basically break down every skyscraper.
I was thinking, it's not really a spoiler, but they trashed the place. We've already said that. I was thinking at the end of the movie, he should probably have apologized to someone on Earth about all the damage. And after the fight's over, he swats down a UAV. And the guy goes, wow, that was like $18 million worth of equipment. So instead of saying sorry for all the damage, he just damages one more thing. And there's also a part of
He's
that
a
movie
bit of a prick.
where he's smashing up the whole place. Then Zod realizes that he can fly too. They go up to space and start smashing up a satellite. Like, the Earth was damaged enough. Let's break some stuff that's in orbit as well.
Does Zod realize he can fly?
Yeah.
Because he does the thing where he's like crawling up the building.
Well, the thing is, everyone from Krypton is wearing armor that you can't fly with the armor on. The whole point of Superman's suit is that it's the undergarment for the armor. That's the only reason that thing is there.
Yeah.
And when he takes all the armor off, he's light enough to fly.
I was so numb to the destruction. Dude, if you want a cush job, get a job as a set designer for the next Man of Steel movie. Because it's like, we need you to build 8,000 sets. And like, well, what are you going to use it for? That sounds great. Don't worry about it. Because they're just going to take all your work and fucking demolish
Destroy
it.
it.
They demolished every kind of set you could imagine. From everything from a country diner to a skyscraper office. Yeah. Every single set exists.
Oh, now I want to see it.
They smash up.
That
an
actually
IHOP.
makes it sound really cool.
At one point, this big dude throws Superman through a supermarket. Then he goes through the back of the supermarket, through a fucking train, goes through the train, ends up in a bank, and goes into the vault. That's one shot. He goes through like 3 different sets.
And then a train gets thrown at him.
It's just for the destructive mayhem. It's worth watching Man of Steel.
I will watch that. They should have marketed it that way.
Yeah, there's some just really visually impressive stuff. Like when he realizes he can fly as well, Superman just starts punching him through the air and flying up to him and punching him again. There's like 3 punches where it's like, and they're just flying and punching.
There's
like
a lot of stuff in that movie they get spot on.
Yeah, it's
They
cool.
also get like, there's like little mechanics of him trying to fly during a fight and then being stopped. And then they also handle super speed better than I've ever seen it handled in any other kind of format. Like there's a scene where one of the Kryptonians, she's like the female. It's kind of like Superman 2, the original one. Mm-hmm. It's Zod and his underlings, but they're really understated. And the female underling, she gets in a fight with some humans, and she's like zipping between them, punching them. It's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be able to do a goddamn thing.
And I like that they didn't do the Smallville thing where they slow everyone else down and he's moving at normal speed.
No.
They just show them moving faster than normal humans at normal speeds. It's like, oh, Jesus, God damn.
So you enjoyed it. You enjoyed Man of Steel.
I really liked the movie, yeah.
I liked it too. I was disappointed that I didn't see it sooner. But
It's
it's for a Superman movie. It's very bizarre.
I always get dumped on because I say Superman's my favorite superhero. But he's apparently like a crappy superhero. I like him though. I like that story.
Yeah.
What do people usually say?
He's just like wimpy and he doesn't kill anyone and stuff.
It's like the Kill Bill thing where he's a commentary on human civilization, making fun of us.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's a little deep.
All right, well, we're at time. We got to wrap this
I
thing
have
up.
one more thing before we
one
go.
more thing.
The UK store just opened.
That's badass, by the way.
So if you are in Europe or more specifically United Kingdom, where it's actually housed, you could get all
Shout
your
out.
merchandise.
So this means people in Europe will have reduced shipping times, since if you order from that region, everything will be shipped out from the UK.
Yeah, you don't have to pay crazy custom fees or anything like that.
I didn't get to talk much about Button-Amathon, but everyone should go see Wolf of Wall Street when it comes out.
Wolf of Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street. Hobbit 2 was great. I thought it was good, but, with obviously my caveats for middle movies, which nobody else cares about. I also saw the new Miyazaki film called The Wind Rises.
His final film?
Is that his final film?
Supposedly.
I'm not a fan, so is he dead?
No, I heard he's retiring.
Oh, he's
This is
retiring.
it.
Okay. Yeah, so it's Japanese animation. It's The Wind Rises, I believe. It's about the guy who, basically the designer of the Zero, but like a very fantastic version of that. So it was interesting.
All right. Well, come back next week. We'll get our official nominations in for podcast awards. And we'll be back, of course, on Wednesday with another episode of The Patch.
Bye, I love you.
It's a podcast. It's a podcast. It's a podcast. It's a pod. Listen up through the speakers, yo. iPhone, earbud, stereo. This gnarly just rolling the flow. Team Blue forever, the reds they blow. You know why you're here. Rooster Teeth and a tank of beer. Random shit off the top of the head. From World of Warcraft to Left 4 Dead. Gus and Monty, Burnie's cool. Joe Heyman and Gavin know. Sometimes Jack from Hunting Games. There are just so many names. A kid named Carrie, also Miles. Almost forgot Jeff. Don't get riled. Brandon, Michael, David, Chris. I feel like someone else was missed. Also Marshall, Matt has class. Now I've saved the best for last. Paragraph and Lindsay, is it true? Holy shit, they got girls too. Alas, some friends may have come and gone. Names may still be in the song. So friends departed, you keep crunk. And remember, once you're drunk, tank always drunk.